I hope I don't put too much glare on the camera.
Why did you so damn white?
Man, how's that camera get my leg right there?
It's a good camera, man. Why, you don't want your legs?
No, I don't give a shit. I'm just saying, I'm like behind that.
That thing's got a good angles on it.
What the hell?
Yeah. Is it too? Hold on, let me just try something real quick. Now, we're live right now, so watch what you say. There ain't nobody tuned in yet. I don't know. I think that looks better. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. It's more even. Look.
Yeah, it's not so damn. You ain't got all the shadow. All right. Well, we are live. So this is how this works, fellas. You have never been on here before, have you? It's your first. You have been. We're talking to each other, and they're spectators. So you're not talking to them. You're not always like looking at the camera. Yeah. So all right. I usually wait about 30 seconds. And we are at 30. All right. Randy, BT, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Time you came on.
I'm always here. Always watching right here.
Always watching, but I can't never get him to come on. Then he finds
I work.
You got him in the corner now.
Yeah,
Go in the corner, hanging out.
And then I put him on. I put it on the Facebook page today that you were coming on. He was like, "What the fuck? You don't invite me on?"
I actually said, well, I am free tonight.
There you go.
So I was up at my kids go to school, so I was up there visiting them over the weekend. So I had time tonight.
There you go.
So let's before we get started, while we got people's attention, because this will be at the beginning, let's talk about this big buck contest. How many people do you got?
So far, there's I believe 12 for the buck, and we only have
What's up,
1, 2, and 5 for the doe.
How many for the buck? Sorry,
12.
What is that? 25 times 12. What is that?
25 times 12,
Yeah.
250.
Huh? $250.
I got 300.
Oh, you're the damn school teacher. This is what your kids are getting educated by.
25 times 12. Damn it.
I don't know, but we need more people. Come on, man. Last year's a lot. Yeah, you gonna be in? I still owe you money for that.
Yeah, Cliff said he was dropping me off some money on Friday.
Some of you boys,
this Friday or next.
Who was it? Was it Holloway and Whitford? Whitford, if you weren't in on this, but I saw Dre McDonald. They were like, this is 2024, y'all. And I know Whitford, you're a young dude. Get Venmo or Cash App or something. Like, holy shit.
PayPal.
The Chinese are not looking, like I said, they're looking at that Walmart camo and they ain't worried about your fucking bank account.
Look at my camera.
No, I'm just saying, I don't understand why people in this day and age don't have Venmo or it's Cash App. I mean, it's so fucking easy. How are you getting by still using just cash and a check? No. And some places now they won't even let you use cash. You know? So anyway, big buck contest. That's winner take all still, right?
Yep, winner take all.
Okay.
And big does just by the weight.
Just wait.
Yeah.
And how's the buck scored? How'd they score it last year?
I don't know how they scored that.
Do you remember how they scored it last year? You had a buck in there, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know what that's called when they just measure antlers.
I think so.
Yeah, it wasn't there was no takeaways.
Yeah. There was
I think Boone and Crockett don't have takeaways.
The Buckmaster.
Okay.
Way.
Yeah, I think they just did the gross. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And there was we didn't really have to measure last year. It was Skipper and then.
Yeah. Who had second place? Yeah.
There was no.
He had first and second place.
He had first, second, 8th place. He had it all around. So it didn't really matter.
Asshole.
Yeah.
What a dick. All right, so there you go. Big buck, get in on it. You've only got what? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You only got 4 days to get in. Listen, I don't deserve to be on the same playing field with these guys or, Skipper and all them, but I still enter. You can't run with the big dogs if you're sitting on the porch. You might challenge yourself. And who knows, you might just get lucky like Randy does and get you one. Yeah. And then think about the bragging rights that you're going to have. If you
only takes one.
It only takes one,
Takes one.
On top of that, or aside from that, the deconflict's getting closer. I don't have all the details because I was lucky. I got Dave Bradley involved in that, and he's basically taken it, and I don't have to worry. I don't know about the details. It was just, let's do it. He took it over, and it's happening on the 13th. So that will be on a Sunday. That's my bad. I don't want to go in there and try to change. I've got people that are going to set up booths, and maybe a food truck's coming. It's a charity-driven food truck. and we told them the 13th. And I know some guys text me, I'm like, "Hey, I got to work on the 13th." Sorry.
I'm not trying to get off, take a vacation.
Yeah.
So it's a Sunday?
It's a Sunday, yeah. So opening day, I got it from every angle because I got people that are like, "Why the hell would you schedule on open day of rifle?" I'm like, "Well, I didn't, but even still, that's a good day because everybody will kind of be there." And let's be honest, man, come on, most guys come out the tree at 9:30, 10.
Bill's gonna be ground.
Yeah, and then you go back in by 3. So don't all of a sudden now you go all day sitter. We follow you on Facebook, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
We know what you're doing. We can predict what you're going to do as good as your wife. Some of y'all. But that, and so go online. We got these hats. This is Latitude Ranch hat. This ain't for charity. Get the hoodie and the t-shirts for the deconflict. All the proceeds from that are going to go to either food or Holloway had a good idea. You wouldn't qualify because it's not for fucking crossbow boys.
Okay. Horizontal bow.
Horizontal.
Let's get it right. Horizontal.
I kind of like that idea with the target. You ever seen that steel target? It's a bow target that's steel, but it's only soft in the kill shot. And then you got a little plate you can spin down and make it smaller.
Ooh.
So we were thinking like $25 a shot. Winner take 50%. The other 50% go towards bags, towels, shit for the skin shit.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Because you can't just give them boys money. It's a government organization.
Yeah,
You can't just walk in and you have to I don't even know how. So anyway, enough of that bullshit. If you haven't bought a hoodie yet, it is payday. We know it was payday. So get out there and buy one. All right, let's get into this. BT, what's been going on? We'll start with BT first because he's cooler than you.
He is much cooler than I am.
I just been itching to get out there.
What you been doing? What you been doing in the off season to get anything to get ready, or are you just so in sync with your deer hunting that they just gotta
wait.
Blow the whistle and say go.
Just try to shoot a recurve a little bit. I don't know if I ever hunt with it, but I'm shooting a little bit.
Yeah, I thought about moving to a recurve just for the fun part,
I'm gonna wait till it gets cold where I don't have nowhere bigger in this room to shoot.
Yeah.
If I were you, I'd probably start with a rifle, see if you can get one that first. Then maybe a crossbow, then maybe a compound.
No.
Go to the old recurve.
Yeah. No.
I don't know if you're ready.
It would be exciting.
I don't know if you're ready looking around at this room, if you're ready for that.
Yeah, we've seen some of the deer you killed. So.
Hey.
Hey, you ever seen some I killed years ago?
I think that's the one you killed. Is that the one you shot in the back of the head?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good shot, baby. 35 yards.
Yeah.
Low light.
Missed shot.
Right. I'm talking not in the head.
Yeah.
Right in the back of the head. Right in the
You
spine.
forget I'm the one that was there first. You said, I think it's right down there. He just dropped. I go down there. I was like, you hit the damn thing in the back of the
I was
head.
like, yeah, I meant to do that.
You split?
That thing, when it hit, that deer, he stood up like he got electrocuted.
Yeah.
And fell over.
Shot.
So it was the sun was just going down. So as soon as all the adrenaline kind of wore off, and I texted him because he was hunting close by, I was like, I don't know, is he laying there? He can't just be dead. You don't shoot a deer with a bow and it just drop.
Yeah.
So I was climbing down the tree. He goes walking up there. The arrow was perfect, the perfect spot. That's how good of a shot with the bow I am.
Well, you ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah.
That'd be real.
No, I don't know.
It was a perfect shot if it was an alligator. You know where you shoot an alligator.
Yeah.
Perfect shot if it was an alligator.
Well, that'd be a good piece of shooting though, because you wouldn't ruin none of the meat and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. It didn't ruin none of
But I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know how the hell that damn arrow landed where it did, because I sure as shit wasn't aiming at it. I was aiming broadside. I was aiming at his right in the kill shot area. But it gets getting dark, and your reticle sometimes when it gets too low lit, that glowing green dot Trigicon
Can't
is
go
on there.
past it too.
You can't see it.
Yeah.
So the deer kind of got fuzzy, and I don't know what happened. I was aiming for his, what I thought was his heart, and it hit him in the head.
Maybe when you shot, he dipped down the run, and you.
It could have been that, or maybe because he was sniffing. There's a scrape right there, so his head was down, and there were some trees there. So maybe as the arrow was going, it hit a tree and deflected down, or I was such a bad shot. I was so far over him that when he lifted his head up and looked to see what the noise was, the arrow hit. I don't know.
I can almost guarantee it is that one.
Like
Yeah.
that.
You're such a bad shot.
No. No.
Sound like a pretty good shot there. didn't it?
Yeah,
Right for
perfect
that.
shot.
Oh, I posted the picture. I was like, shot placement is key, and there was a few people that were.
Wow.
Most people knew it was a lucky miss,
Yeah.
you know, but whatever.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dead deer. So, what about you there, Randolph? What you been doing to get ready for the season besides ordering
Oh, my
fucking
gosh.
spice latte, pumpkin oil?
Hey man, that's secret
Is
stuff.
that a secret?
Secret sauce I like to use.
Drinking pumpkin spice lattes while hunting is his new
Yeah.
strategy.
Hey, deer like pumpkin.
Pea and scrapes.
Yeah, pea and scrapes. No, I've just been, well, last time I was out, I had to go out and remove all those cameras that I have out there, all 3 of them.
How you feel about them cameras?
I don't mind.
You don't care either way.
I don't care.
You don't care about the tyranny part of it. You don't see it as like, no. don't care.
No, I don't care. I don't care about it.
Well, goddamn, man, y'all are boring. Why gotta do all the talking? Like, give me something. Like, I can take it or leave it. What do you think about life? I can take it or leave it.
I love to see the pictures. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
But I saw a bigger deer when I didn't have the camera.
Yeah.
Actually on the hoof.
Well, like I said before, once you see them on camera, then you overhunt this spot just because you've seen this
That's
deer
true.
on this camera.
That's
Then
true.
you hunt and hunt and hunt the same spot.
Yeah.
You got to move. And
Make
you
it get
can't.
out.
You can't overhunt an area.
Yeah, like you overhunt the shit out of areas, though. You know you do. Just go ahead and admit it's everybody on
Which
here.
area is that?
I can't say the area.
In area, like if we're talking about the area of BB, yeah. But I don't hunt that same
So
spot. I move.
I was literally sitting in my truck the other day, and I'm thinking, where am I going to go on opening day? I don't know. I'm torn. I've got some spots that I normally go to. I'm like, well, there's some good action on. You know, we're getting action on the cameras before you pull them out. I was like, so I like that spot. And then this dumbass calls me, and he goes, I just seen a big old deer that he was out scouting, and sends me the pin. And tells me the whole. We're just kind of like, well, where was this? Where was it? Now, where do you think I'm going opening day? Like, how can I not go there?
I hope you do. I saw him laying there.
Just made your mind up right there.
I called him one day and I said, hey, I seen him. Seen him laying.
Yeah,
Midday.
Wow.
Seen him laying there.
laying
And
there.
I just backed out and told him about it. And he'll hunt there that day. He won't be there though.
Just hard if you need help dragging him out.
Yeah. No, I don't. I can't go scout, man, because it's too hot. Ticks, chiggers, all that bullshit. But I don't see a need in it right now. I'd rather scout in season as it gets closer to
Once you get
cold
to
weather and you're in the woods and you kind of got a feel for it. Right now, I think you could go in and see all the sign and be like, you know, deer all, you know, here, but it's hot right now. And as it cools off and the rut kicks in and testosterone flares up, all that pattern's going to change. So I think if you just like going to the woods, I mean, why wait till September or August? Why aren't you there in fucking February, you know?
Yeah.
So, and this year, like I said, I'm not, the last, 3 years, I've been able to kind of hunt. Last 3 or 4 years, I've been able to hunt whenever I wanted to. If I wanted to go every day, I went every day. If I wanted to go, just whenever I wanted to go, I could go. And this year, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I've got to be more strategic about the days. Like I need to pick days based on weather, barometric pressure, all that stuff. So I think this year might actually, as hard as that's going to be, I think it might make me better at, you know, hunting in general, because now I'll, you know, instead of hunting on hope, although I think everybody's hunting on hope. I don't care how many cameras you got out there. You're still hoping that motherfuckers won't be there. You're hoping that all your homework that you've done and all the odds you've stacked in your paper, you hope they're going to pay off that day. Yeah, so I think that's going to make me better. That's the way I got to look at it, so I'm not depressed. Yeah, because if you can only go, like say you can only go on, you know, Wednesday, or you only got 2 days of the week work day that you can go, because you got to split those days with another guy. Like I each other guy, you can't go this day, I'm going. Then I want to be looking, you know, and then I want to be telling him like, man, if I don't want to hunt on Monday or on Wednesday and Friday, I'll be like, man, those days look great, dude. You should go out there that day.
Yeah.
Because the good day is gonna be Thursday, you know.
You already made your mind up where you're gonna go. Hope
Yeah.
nobody's messing around.
Yeah.
The good thing about the cameras, you could keep a focus on where everybody's If somebody walks by, you count them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see
Now you
the
got to look
woods.
for tracks.
Yeah.
People tracks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know, it feels like more, I don't know if there's more people are actually hunting or if more people are hunting a specific area that used to not be hunted so much, that it feels like Fort Bragg is getting crowded, but
Yeah.
I never felt crowded at all until last year. I used to listen to everybody complain about public land, all these people. I never ran into nobody.
Yeah.
I could go a whole year without seeing anything unless I went to the skinny shed or went to a
Exactly.
spot or something.
Yeah, except last year. Last year seemed a little different. I don't know why. So, hold on a second. I gotta get my drink.
I haven't ran into many people. I like to hunt those areas that you look at an area and you're out there, you're like, yeah, no one would ever think about hunting this spot. And those are the spots I like to hunt. Oh yeah, this looks stupid as shit. No one would even walk through here. I'm hunting this spot.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to work out.
Yeah.
It seems to work out.
It seems to work out. Some of the deer that you found doing that.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that would be sitting in the passenger side and agree and be like, yeah, that probably is, but I ain't going there.
Yeah.
I don't see a scrape. I don't see a damn rub. I don't see nothing. I ain't going there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just, there's been a few deer that you found just doing that. I'm just
And
gonna
then the closer to the road, the better. I like it.
You're just gonna tell everybody that is true on Bragg. I don't think that that's letting anything out, but the closer to a main road,
Hey,
no matter what area you're in, scout along those main roads. That's
I like to be right on them.
yeah. There's one spot that I hunt so close to the road that one time I had to take shit, and I don't leave my tree stand. I just, if I'm in a climber, I can do it all up there. And I was like, I'm gonna have to climb down because all someone got to do is just be daydreaming and look up and see my big white ass. Shit in the damn
I
portable
can tell where
shooter.
his stands have been. There's usually a plastic bag still hanging there. You know, like this is where
I
he
don't
likes
do
to-
that.
This is where he likes to climb.
No, I put it in I run like a 5-bag systems because I take it with me, man. I fucking throw it away when I go. There might have been once or
I
twice.
think he forgot a couple.
I'm not the only one that does that.
I can guarantee you're the only one that does it.
No, I'm
I
not.
can guarantee.
I know other people that do it.
I hunted a honey hole one time, and it was dark, and I noticed they'd been raking pine straw in there back when they could. It got daylight. It was, you could barely see the ground, and I'm seeing this white stuff all over the place. I'm like, what is that? I thought maybe they raked the pine straw, but you could see the sand. It was toilet paper. I guess the whole crew went there and crapped right there where I was hunting.
Oh, they didn't
like
bury it?
campground in there.
Oh shit.
There was wads of toilet paper everywhere.
Gross. Walk out of there with fucking pink eye and shit.
It's funny you say that. That was one of the last images I have on one of the cameras. I put this camera in the thickest stuff you can possibly imagine. I was like, there's no way that people are going to be on this camera. Yeah. But there must have been a unit in there somewhere, and they all must have walked back through that spot to take a shit because they were walking by, and then one had dude wipes in his hands. I was like, you got to be kidding me. He's walking right through here where I got deer on camera at all times, and it didn't even matter because you know what happened 2 days later? Deer right on that camera, right where everyone was, going to the bathroom.
That's crazy.
Hey Garrett, if you're Garrett's watching, how does it sound? Just let me know if I need to adjust the mic. The last time I did it with 2 people, it sounded shitty, but I had it on the wrong setting.
I probably need to speak up.
No, we'll find out. Anyway, yeah. So about that, just people in general being out there in troops. I mean, these deer grow up with it. We say it all the time. There are still some people that just ain't buying that shit. They just can't wrap it around their head. Yeah. They see somebody jogging through an area and they're like, oh, my whole hunt's ruined, and that's shit. Some of the best deer I've seen have been killed in areas where there is a whole lot of recreation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You see people jog by or unit jog by, and all of a sudden the deer stands up after they leave and walk right out behind them.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, where I was hunting a year ago, we're talking about Brennan being always late.
Yeah.
I was up in a tree right by the road, and I could hear him coming. And at that point, I was already watching a small buck just feeding right out of the oak tree. And I know Brennan was going to turn and come right down that road. And sure enough, here comes Brennan, late as usual, probably right before dark. And that buck just took about 10 steps, towards me and just stood there and just watched Brennan go on by.
And then what do you do after that? Just go
Just
about his business.
started feeding, came right up underneath on me.
Yeah. Mature buck. That sounds good. All right, thanks, Garrett. It seems like that. Well, it don't seem like it. You kind of confirmed it the other day. Like a mature buck, he is not moving. If he hears you coming, he ain't getting up and running. You got to damn near step on that cocksucker to get him to move. Like he knows the game. He's lived 7, 8 years, not just by accident. Like he knows not to just get up. Like and he might have seen a couple of his homies like, oh, they're coming, man. We gotta go. And then get up and bam, like I told you not to move, motherfucker.
Squat down like a rabbit.
Yeah.
His legs. I've seen him drop down before.
Yeah.
Like one of the things when you start posting about anything online, anything subjective online, you're gonna get hate. You're gonna get people that disagree. That's fine. So I've been doing a lot of posting on these platforms, and I've like TikTok killing it, man. Like that one skipper that I posted, he's just testing it out, going up and down the street, got like 70,000 views, hundreds of comments, and it ranges from that's not safe. You need to do this or that. You're wearing Crocs. It's always an expert telling you something you don't know, right? Like, yeah. He climbed up like 6 feet. It's a test.
Oh, yeah,
we're not actually hunting. But one of the things that people are complaining about is noise climbing the tree. Mm-hmm. They're like, "Oh, that looks noisy. That looks noisy." And I'm like, "Well, when did it become necessary to be silent going up a tree? A climber makes noise, even on a hardwood. You're gonna have a scraping sound. You're gonna have the, when you put a stick on a climbing tree, a climbing stick on a tree, even a pine tree. When you step on it, it's gonna make some noise. When did we go to try to eliminating that noise? I don't understand that.
I've got to track deer sometimes.
That's what I'm running. People say that, and then there's always the guy that's like, "Oh, that's bullshit." But then you look at his profile, and he's like 18. He don't know shit. But I don't know, because I found myself moving towards that. Like, okay, first I wanted to be mobile. I don't like carrying climbers. I don't like the time it takes. Traditionally, we get out of the truck, we go. It's like, I texted him one time, and he said, "I'm up." I was only halfway up the tree because I was climbing the sticks. And then I said, "Okay, I'll be like, God damn, what the hell are you doing?" I've been up for like 10 minutes, so I wanted to be quicker than that. But then it kind of went from, I don't really care so much about being quick anymore. I just want to be quiet. And I think it was yesterday, I was responding to a comment, and I was like, when did quiet become, like, I understand be quiet. Don't get in there and start banging around. Don't be fucking Guillermo Martinez and just banging shit around and fucking making all types of noise. But to be stealthy, quiet up a tree, I don't know. That's like a new thing that I ain't never, I'm just now experiencing.
I think sometimes it's good to make a little noise because you can make them stop if they're coming and see where that sound's coming from. Right in, you're up.
Yeah, but people act like deer. They act like if a deer smells anything or hears anything, he ain't going anywhere. If that was the case, them fuckers would just literally stand still and walk in a circle all day. They hear fucking squirrels. They hear cars. They hear people. They hear coyote dogs. Mm-hmm. They're pretty. They're not smart, as in they can't, build shelter and get out of fucking rain. But a mature buck, I was watching a video the other night that said a mature buck, they watched it. I think they were trying to prove it. I think they kind of did that. A mature buck will follow a coyote pack.
I've seen them follow behind.
Yeah, they follow behind because they know where he's at. As long as he's up there, he's not coming up behind me trying to fuck me up. Yeah. So that takes some type of intelligence. But you're not going to be scared of a little scrape in a tree. It could be a squirrel.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I think I killed one year. I forgot my key to the lock on the tree stand. So I had to pull this lock off the tree, and I fell backwards and I broke the lock finally. And
I remember that.
I made all kind of noise.
Yeah.
I made all kind of noise trying to break a lock on this tree. So I just pulled and pulled and pulled until I ripped that lock right off, and it made a lot of noise. And I've seen plenty of deer that day. It doesn't matter me walking. I'm walking. I try to be as quiet as I can, but it's noise. They're going to hear the noise.
Yeah.
If they're going to hear it, they're going to hear it. It's noise. They're going to hear the noise.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to. Just give me a second here. I need to. How do I do this, Brennan always did this. I don't know how to
Turn on comments.
No, here we go. I need to share, copy link. I need to go to the Facebook page.
So have you been out DT this year?
Just
Scouting a little bit?
Just a little bit.
How's the food
Walking the
looking?
fire
How's the
break.
food looking? I know last year the food was everywhere. I'm a little bit
Yes.
scared that it's
Well, somebody said there wasn't no white oaks out there, but I've gone out in the woods like a couple years ago, September, no white oaks. Go a month later and there's white oaks, there's acorns all over the tree.
yeah.
I think sometimes they pop up late.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year, okay, I think we're good. I literally like spent like, I don't know, good amount of time staring at white oak leaves versus red oak leaves versus post oaks versus, different oak trees.
Mm-hmm.
So I could identify them. And I'm like, okay. And I even stopped and looked and I got a white oak and a red oak and I'm looking at it. I was like, okay, I got this. Not too hard. White oaks are the ones that are preferred and all this stuff. Next day going in, I forgot all that shit. I couldn't tell what was a white oak.
Acorns on that thing.
Yeah, just acorns or acre. I didn't.
The white oaks are brown, light brown. They're more oblong than the other ones, and they have more of a warty bottom.
The acorn itself.
Like the base of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're a little bit longer.
Yeah, but how do you spot the tree? If it's, just before acorn season, when do they start producing? They start growing them now, right? And they drop in a few weeks, or
They start dropping when we start getting cooler weather, but
Yeah,
some
when they
of them drop later than the others.
when do they start making them though? Around this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some on red oak. And the pin oaks or the water oaks aren't to have some on them this year.
Yeah, so you can find them. I heard
Big deal.
the pin oaks. There's Jonathan knows. He's like an arborist or something.
Yeah.
And he knows that this one is going to drop one of them drops every 6 or 7 years or something. A post oak maybe.
Mhm.
I don't know. I
There's
just
a big southern red oak too that's got really big acorns on it.
Yeah.
That's where. So one day it stood there for 30 minutes eating under the tree and like he's too far.
Was there any? That spot where we every time we leave hunting, you drive by this spot.
Mm-hmm.
There were no deer there last year, so that wasn't dropping.
No, it is this year.
It is this year. Okay.
Yeah, I saw it.
Every
Saw it
night.
already.
I ain't never seen. Well, I'm not saying that there. No, there was a nice one. That time I got busted with the rattle.
With the rattle.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. I don't know how far is it from that tree to the road. 80 yards. To the main road.
To the
From
main
that
road.
tree.
Yeah, 80 yards.
80, 100 yards.
That's it.
He was right along that road, and I seen that. And so I grunted, and he stopped, and then he kind of disappeared, and then I seen him walking up, going this way, facing the road, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna lose him." So I went, "Shh," and that motherfucker just went, gone. He was like, "All right, I got you located at the grunt. Now you got me curious."
Hey,
But I don't know why I did that, man. I'm not even taking a fucking rattle this
A
year.
deer came into a grunt and he
Yeah.
didn't see anything. So Buddy decides, hey, let me pretend there's 2 deer.
There's
here
2
now.
deer.
Let's see how dumb this deer is. Let me get this thing.
it's a midget deer in the
Well, I deserve that because that's exactly what I should have been thinking. Like he come into a grunt, didn't see nothing, but now all of a sudden
Now there's 2 of them.
he didn't see 2 of them just fighting. Never mind that bucks don't climb trees,
It makes you think like they can pinpoint that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's something people are scared about at the beginning of the season, like this time of year. I mean, they do after that velvet falls off. They do spar. I mean, they do.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Don't put the calls away. I mean, you can hit a soft contact grunt here and there,
Especially
and
if
even
you
like
can't-
a little doe bleed. You can hit that every once in a while. Just don't want to overcall, but they still make noise every day. Every day these deer are making noise. So don't be afraid. Don't put them away.
some more than others, huh?
Yeah, hell, I always carry a rabbit call with me just in case I see a coyote.
Oh yeah, I need to start doing that, man.
Just in case I see a coyote.
I'd shoot
Try to
out
get
on
it
a deer
closer.
hunt to kill a
I
coyote.
know.
yeah.
Was it 2 years ago? I used I seen a dog. I'm in an area where you frequently see people with dogs, but this is not on. I was off the trail. And it was a beautiful dog too. Now it was a coyote, but it was fluffy. It looked like he just had a bath, and it was walking. And I was like, it was too far. I was bow hunting. It was too far for a shot. I was like, YouTube, dying rabbit. Now I understand that's illegal. Sorry, it's 3 years after the fact.
Predator hunting, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hit the damn the dying rabbit, and that damn thing, he came down. He went all the way around. He came down, and I drew, and I had him, and I was like, "Fuck, man, he's like 50 yards." But it was a clear shot. And he stood there for like 3 minutes. So I was waiting, hoping he would come closer, and he walked off. I didn't get a shot. When I got down, I walked over to that spot where I thought was 50 yards, only 30 yards. I could have smoked that damn thing. He was beautiful. He would have been like the coyote that you would have put on a shawl. You wouldn't have thrown that one away. It was like,
Well, they look good.
he's probably the alpha. The alpha's he's eating the best. They live in packs, and he gets to eat the liver. And, and other dogs basically clean them. Take care of them. He ain't wanting for nothing.
I was hunting there on my spot one day, and it was toward the end of the season, and I saw a coyote coming, and all of a sudden 5 of them surrounded me. And there was a pretty blonde, looked like a female, I guess. I said, I'm going to shoot her, and missed her.
Oh, shit.
And when I missed her, I put another arrow, and I looked to my right, and there's a big old male standing there, and I'm like, oh, and
really?
No.
I ain't never seen one stop. That's the first time I ever seen one stop.
It's hard to get him to stop and get a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Are you left-handed, BT? You're left-handed.
Oh, yeah.
So
I see him last year. I shot one. I mean, it was only, of course, now I was really high in the tree. I mean, I was high, but I was also like elevated. So I was really up there and high. But the damn dog came out. I was waiting for you to catch that. It came out and it just zigzagged and it walked around, and it was another nice fluffy one, and I was just watching to see where it was going. But I was like, all right, if the coyote's here, it's probably gonna fuck up my hunt, so I'm gonna kill this coyote. And I just went, okay, I'm gonna kill. I just made a decision, and I shot, and that thing doubled over.
Oh yeah.
Didn't make a noise though. It doubled over and then ran into the draw. So I was like, all right, dead. Couldn't find it.
They're tough.
Are they that tough? I mean, it's a 308 from like 35 yards.
He died probably. He probably had a little bit of.
Oh man!
Yeah, I heart punched one year with a horizontal bow, and that thing ran 100 yards.
Really?
Bled more than any deer I ever shot. I was like, damn, this thing ain't dead yet.
That's like the first time I shot a bobcat was with a bow, and I thought I missed it. First animal I ever shot at with a bow was a bobcat, and I know people have been hunting 20, 30 years, they ain't never seen a bobcat.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna kill like 4 of them.
You see one, then you see another one, then all of a sudden you're gonna see one for a
Yeah. The next one I kill though is going to the taxidermist, because I have a tendency to throw them in the freezer, and then I go back to hunting. And after season, I'm gonna take it to the taxidermist. Well, after season, you got to play
6
catch
years
up.
later.
So it's only like 3 years later, I take it to the taxidermist. It's freezer burnt, can't do nothing with it. That's happened to me twice on 2 bobcats.
3 years later, buddy tries to go get a steak out of the freezer. What the hell's this?
Yeah,
a bobcat.
All right, let me tell you this. So when Peavy did that bear, when he skinned him out, well, they keep the claws on the bear rug, right? So they take the hands out, and he gave it to me. He said, you might want to put it. A lot of people like to take it and put it in like some liquid because it looks like a human hand.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, and a foot. I'm like, yeah, cool. I threw it in the freezer at my dad's house. All right, I put all the meat in there, and I'm out there cleaning out the damn freezer one day, looking for something, and I grabbed this thing. What is this? And I forgot that I put it there, and I dropped it like a little bitch. I was like, what the fuck?
Somebody's in the freezer.
I was scared the shit out of me. I started thinking my dad killed somebody and hacked him up, but then I remembered it was the bear, so I found the foot and I let it thaw out a little bit. And then my niece, who was 15 or 16, she's in the house. And so I go inside and I said, hey, Sophie, I said, look, I killed this guy like 2 years ago. I need some help. I got to get rid of the body. She closed her book and was like, all right. I was like, wait, you're not going to ask me a question? She was like, no.
Where are we going?
Didn't even care. I was like, you a gangster.
Yeah.
I would have had some. Now, don't get me wrong. One of my friends rolls up with something like that. I got you. We're gonna get rid of this shit. But I got some questions.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Whose car are we taking?
Whose car are we taking?
I was like, I got a good
I was like, are we taking your car or my car? I got your back, but gotta ask some questions there. So make sure this ain't some little kid that you abducted or something.
Yeah.
You know.
I've seen a lot of more foxes out there now.
I got a nice fox over there.
He got a red one. I ain't never seen a red one in real life except on the side
I've
of the
only seen
road.
a couple.
Yeah.
But they say that the gray one can climb a tree somewhat, and the red one can't.
I got that red one right by where you got Goofy at.
Really?
Same spot. Same spot.
Somebody's Harley.
Oh, okay. I've ever seen like machine guns.
I remember that day. That was the day, weren't you? You seen it, and I think I'm not gonna take credit for shooting it, but I think I was like, shoot it. That thing was
I didn't
a nice
know
mount.
I didn't know it was in season, so I had to hurry up and Google it.
Yeah.
I was like, is it in season?
Yeah, like if
Oh,
I
it is
see a
in
red
season.
box, you might see Feeny rolling up with a damn shawl on, like my scarf, you know.
They're cool. I've seen them stalking. I've seen bobcats stalking quail out there before. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna shoot that bobcat. I said, you don't see no quail out here anymore.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll jump on one of them, just walking. And,
What, quail?
Quail.
I have too. They're like small birds, aren't they?
really small, fast.
Why do people even hunt? What do you do?
Oh,
with
they're
them?
good. They're good to eat.
Really?
Where I'm from in Pennsylvania, the big bird to eat up there is grouse. Rough
Isn't
grouse.
a grouse
They're
like
really
a chicken?
good. Small.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's a
They're
wild
They're
chicken.
really good.
Mountains are-
Yeah. I'm from southwestern Pennsylvania, so
Quaker. He's a Amish.
I
I
got
didn't
some
know
potato
that.
chips the other day from Pennsylvania. One lady brought bowling out. They're in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
I forgot what they're
Are
called.
they store bought in a Ziploc bag, or somebody made them and brought them to you?
No, they were store bought.
Oh,
They
so
were
they were
actually
on the
factory
factory.
Ziploc.
Randy went on Rumspringa and decided not to go back to the community. Is that what it's called, Rumspringa?
There's some big old deer up there.
They're big deer.
200
200 pounds. Yeah, a lot. Oh, my brother, he's a hunter in the family. He kills
Yeah.
deer all the time.
Out of all the Wiebl kids, I get stuck with the fucking run. His
Yeah.
brothers are out there killing studs.
Yeah, so
Like big fucking
they all
deer.
hunt around Pittsburgh
Oh,
in these little woods, right? Little patches of woods that have a lot of deer, but he kills big deer every year. Every year he kills 150 plus.
need to go somewhere like Kentucky or there or somewhere like that.
Yeah, but he does have land or a lease out in Ohio too, so he goes out there.
I've never hunted out at I've hunted in South Carolina just a couple of times, but mostly here.
Yeah.
Have you hunted? I was going to ask you that. That was running through my head today when I knew you were coming on. Have you ever hunted anywhere other than Fort Bragg? Like regularly, or Fort Bragg's been your
Game
whole
land,
life?
Singletary game lands down at White Lake.
Okay,
You see some big deer there.
really?
And then when the gas prices got bad, I started hunting close
Yeah.
at Fort Bragg.
So that's what I like about, that's one of the reasons why I don't like this area that I live in. I hate the Gillis Hill area, the Cliffdale Road and Riley Road area, and the freaking Hope Mills main road where the Walmart is. Those three parts of town, I can't stand them. I will not go through those parts of town during rush hour. But living here, there's nowhere else to go. In order for me to get to my office downtown or to get to Fayetteville, I've got to go down Rayford Road. I can't cut through Fort Bragg because I carry a gun. So I can't go through the gate. I don't want to risk all that stuff. So I'm stuck. And there's been a few times where just shit happened and I'm late or I'm working late. I can't get home and I get stuck. You get stuck in this traffic out here at Gillis Hill. It took me and Jonathan almost 45 minutes to get from 295 to his house, which straight line distance ain't but a quarter mile. You know what I mean? Or a half a mile.
Well, they're done with all that, man.
But the good thing about it is I go out here and make a right and I go right to Hobson Road and
Mhm.
then I'm right on Plank.
Oh yeah.
Or I go right to Wayside.
Wayside, right?
But you can't make a left on Wayside. You got to make a U-turn. But I'm right here out in the, right in the good
Yeah,
area.
speaking of Pennsylvania, my brother sent me a message the other day. He said there's just as many deer here in North Carolina than there are in Pennsylvania. I think it's like 1.3 million or something, the thing he sent me. But there's a lot more hunters in Pennsylvania than there are down here.
Wow.
Hell, when I was a kid, hunting season always started on a Monday. And you had that, every school system was off. It was hunting season.
Everything
The
was
first
on.
day of hunting season, schools closed. It was always on a Monday, but now they pushed it back to a Saturday. But
That's
there's
pretty
just
awesome.
more. There's just more hunters up in
Do
Pennsylvania.
So they don't do that no more?
No,
So,
they pushed it back to a Saturday,
Oh,
so
okay.
the kids wouldn't miss school.
Yeah, you have probably a lot of people in other states coming in there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did you hunt when you were a kid? What was the MO?
Well, I never hunted off of a corn pile until I moved south, and that was just strange to me, just sitting there watching corn on the ground. Like, this is odd. But there's nothing but cornfields where I'm from.
Right.
But I never hunted a cornfield. You know, my dad we always went in the woods and the wooden tree stand. And I can remember the first deer I killed. Here comes a deer up. We were watching a hillside, and here comes one up from our right, and it just stops behind a tree, and I can't damn see it. And my dad's like, "All right, go ahead, shoot it," and it's still behind a tree. Then his ass, what does he do? He shoots it because it started moving. And then he makes me tag it, and then for the next 2 years, look at Randy's deer. Look at Randy's deer. I was like, damn, I didn't shoot that deer. And to this day, it's still in the kitchen.
Wow.
Still in the kitchen with hats on it, of course. It's just a small six point. But
Is it still your deer?
still my deer to this day. First deer ever killed. I said, Dad, there's the first deer ever killed.
You just ratted your dad out.
A lot of memory there.
Yeah, my dad shot that damn thing, and he said, that's my deer. I went along with it. I guess I did shoot it.
Yeah.
But no. He's like, you afraid to shoot? I said, no, Dad, I was behind the damn tree. I couldn't see it. Because we sat in a big ass tree stand. It wasn't just little. I mean, it was big. My dad put a ladder up to it, not steps, a ladder. Brought a ladder out to the woods. Yeah. Brought a ladder out.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what hunting I did when I was growing up.
Did you go every year?
Every year. But then as you got, you know, venturing out. But
So was that a thing like in your high school? Did everybody like hunt, or was that just something?
It's funny
Because I didn't know anybody.
my little small group of friends. I think of my best friends. None of them hunted until after high school. And the one he still doesn't hunt. But I can remember the first experience I had on my own with a bow, with a regular vertical bow.
Mm-hmm. A real bow?
With a vertical bow.
Was it a compound bow?
It was a compound bow. It was near my house, and it was a cornfield, but they already picked it, and it was already plowed under. And I already saw the buck in the field, so I went around, and I just climbed up a tree. I climbed up this small...
How'd you climb it?
With a climber. I had a climber back then. It was small, right? You don't pick a small tree like this. I was like this, and this climber, probably like 8 feet off the ground, tilted downwards like this. And I was like, damn, what do I do? He's up there in the field. I could see him. He's about 200 yards in the field. And no kidding, I had some estrus, and it was probably that time of year. And I took that bottle and I just squirted it all around the base of my tree after I got up there. And immediately here was just a gust of wind, just took that right up to him. I could see he put his head up like this, and then he came straight down running to me, nose to the ground. I was like, oh, this works. Then he got so close to me. You know, mind you, I'm only 10 feet off the ground at most, already leaning down like this, and he stops right underneath me. I think I could have touched him or kicked him with my foot. So I just pull back and I shoot at the first spot I could even shoot at. I hit him right in the neck, probably where you should hit a deer in rut. You know, right in the neck. This thing, like, I only probably went in, penetrated probably about 2 inches. That thing ran off, and of course, what did I do? Track him right away, and probably jumped him 6 times. And then I go get my dad. I said, Dad, I hit one. He's like, where the hell did you shoot him at? I said, right there in the neck.
Like, let's go back to the house.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, what are we tracking for?
Yeah.
This deer just took that out down the road and just threw it out.
But still, that is still some dumb fucking luck. I don't understand this freaking horseshoe he's got stuck up his ass.
I do.
Literally, man. I don't know how many times I told the story last year. No shit. If I remember correctly, I was there the day before, and I texted you and I said, go check out this spot when you leave.
Mm-hmm.
And you go over there, and I'm hunting, but now I'm not hunting because I hear a noise. And I got to go investigate this wild noise and it's Brennan stuck in a ditch. He's joyriding at 9:30.
Brennan coming in at 9:30 in the morning.
Randy calls me and he's like, no, he was actually down. It might have been like 10 actually, because you were done too. So Brad was just giving Brennan shit. But he texted me. He's like, man, the scrape's all tore up. He's like, I got to hunt it, right?
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I'm
hoping he says no. But I'm like, yeah, of course you got to hunt. He's like, no. He's like, I got to, like, right? Like, he's looking for, like, what do you call it?
Reassurance.
The reassurance. Like, no, I got to hunt it.
I got to hunt it, right? Say yes.
Tell me to hunt.
And so I was like, yeah, you got to. So I go over messing around, waiting on somebody to come help Brennan out. And I'm antsy now. I want to get back in my tree because I just had this feeling. And as soon as the phone rang, I was like, I think, was Brennan there? I was getting in my truck. I said, he just shot the fucking deer. Answer the phone. He's like, but down. And with him, I never know he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
He got me one time. I give you one time where I believe you until you're joking. Now I don't believe anything he says. And I was like, God damn, yeah, he did. But anyway, shot that deer. We all know about that one. And the second one. But then he's like, go back. Go sit in that tree. And I'm like, nah, I ain't going there. I ain't going there. And so he went and shot another one.
Yeah.
Another stud.
When you see you posted the first one. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta get
big old wide
get
deer.
another
I
one.
mean, minus that time I sat in the morning, I probably was in the tree maybe an hour. Killing
That's
one of
how
those
it
deer.
normally happens.
Wow.
Hell, before I actually met him, he was hunting in an area close. I was on the edge of an area, and he was in the next area, like over. And I heard his gunshot. But he fucking posted, I lost my fucking. Do you post? Do you remember you lost your tree, or did you text me? I don't remember how I did.
Oh my
He couldn't
god!
find his climber.
I couldn't find my climber. I left it, and I thought, surely I can find this thing in the dark.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And so I get down there close to where I think it is. I said, hell with it. I'm just going to sit on the ground until I can see some light so I can find my climber. And so here comes, it starts getting light. I'm like, damn, I was only off by like 20 yards. I was like, there it is right there. So I go, hurry up, get up in it. And as soon as I get up in it, here comes one just was walking by.
Like
Yeah.
30 minutes later, lost his climber,
Lost my climber.
making all that noise, stinking up the area, finally gets up there. He's
Walking
still at the
around.
skin shed by 8:30. Talking about, I don't know, I do this every time. This is how it's done.
That's how it's done. It's easy.
You gotta figure it out.
What do you guys, how do you guys say Fort Bragg's so hard to hunt?
Yeah.
This is pretty damn easy to
That's
me.
one of the main reasons I still live here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to hunt this area.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I love Fort Bragg, man. I guess I was telling, who was I talking to last week? I've got access to private land. 30 acres right on the Cape Fear River that nobody hunts. The guy who lives there, he hunts in Pennsylvania. He's another Quaker. So I can hunt out there anytime I want. And I thought that was dope. And sometimes whenever I'm hunting and I call it the kiddie pool, I'm in like the stand, there's corn down the what do you call the power line?
Oh yeah.
I call it the kiddie pool stand. Whenever I get suspended for not signing in, that's where I go hunt.
Oh my God, that sign-in stuff, that's another thing.
Oh my God. I just saw somebody else got suspended.
Oh my gosh. If you just, 100% of people that screenshot their sign, well, now it's called sign out. Now you're signing out of the area. Now it's called sign out.
I
They
thought
changed the name.
sign out was
They changed
going
it
in.
back.
They changed it to sign out to you're coming out of the woods.
Okay.
That's how you do it
change
now.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They changed it to sign out, you're coming out. So
That's wild.
100% of people who screenshot sign out time don't get suspended. If you just screenshot it,
Yeah,
that means you did it.
man, I got stuff to do, man. I can't
Dude, it
remember
takes
all
2
that
seconds.
shit.
You sign out, you swipe your phone if you're a Android user or screenshot
Hell,
it.
even
2 seconds.
even last year, I thought I was doing good about it, and one night I was laying in my bed, and I just happened to pick up my fucking phone and turn on Facebook, and some dude posted, "I don't know who needs to hear this, but you have 10 minutes to sign in," and I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck! hurry up! That's me. I'm one of them." I got it in with like 1 minute to spare, but I just sometimes forget. And I miss the old days. I mean, there was probably before 2 years ago, I would go hunt in the morning and I'm not signing out because I just got to go take care of some shit and then I'm coming back. But I would start taking care of shit and that would lead to more shit. And then the next thing you know, I'm in Raleigh and it's dark. But dude at the center would call and be like, "Hey man, you gonna sign in?" Yeah. Like, "Oh man." He's like, "Well, I seen you signed out. Figured you would come." It was like a
Courtesy.
kind of like, "Hey man," he said, "I got you." Especially when you look up and you saw, like you, I think me and you probably compete. I bet you I got more sign-ins and sign-outs than you do, and you got a lot. And they use you as the example because you ain't never been suspended for not signing in.
No, I
right?
got suspended one time for taking my orange off.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Take one.
orange off up in the tree.
He took his orange off years ago, though, right? A long time ago.
Yeah, I was rifle hunting.
Yeah. But they always use BT as an example because they'll be like,
I
"Well,
didn't know you
BT."
did anything wrong.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
They always say BT signs in. 100 times and out of year, he ain't never got to
How
sign
did I know
it.
you didn't have orange on in the tree? You posted a picture or something?
No, Jay come down there and got.
They had game
He
wardens.
said they had game warden back then. I was hunting in Z across from the impact area. I was watching, waiting for the deer to come out of there.
Yeah.
And I heard the truck.
You just took it off and like hung it?
No, I took it off, tucked it in.
Oh,
took
tucked
my
it in.
camouflage hat, put it on.
Oh, so you knew you were wrong.
That was a long time ago.
Damn, I didn't know I was hunting with an outlaw. I was sitting here with an outlaw right now.
My mess got suspended and I got it back the last day of deer season.
Oh,
Damn, how long was the suspension?
2 weeks.
See, now, here's the thing. This is what I don't get. I know I was giving Cliff Junk shit today. I like fucking with him, but it's just all in fun. But how is that a good thing? When people are like, oh, I'm so thankful to see the game wardens out there. You weren't, I mean, yeah, you were breaking a rule. That ain't in the Bible or the Quran or whatever religion is out there. There's no like biblical, godly, no religious law. There's no law against man that taking your orange off in a tree. I mean, that's against a rule. Okay, I get that part of it. But you guys suspended for how many days or weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. But yet you're happy to see the game wardens out there doing their job?
Well, I got permission to go to Elliott Farm Road and hunt and kill a big that
That's why I mean, hey, I get it, man. People, they just love rules and laws and stuff.
And I found out the orange don't matter. I mean, I used to hunt when I was still rifle hunting. I had an orange suit. I looked like a prisoner.
Yeah.
Orange hat and a whole orange suit that I wore.
No, last year, I wearing orange is like wearing a solid. I mean, it's just a solid color.
Yeah.
Except for that, I was watching something on YouTube the other day about a study they did on deer vision. They can see blue, they can see yellow, and they can see red. So those three colors they can't see. Not that any of us are out there wearing red, blue, or yellow.
Yeah.
But these guys that are like, oh, my grandpappy wore a red flannel shirt. I'm sure he did. Sitting over a corn pile or a bucket of apples soaked in fucking apple juice,
No, that Fitzgerald guy. He always wore red flannel, and he'd stock hunt a lot of the time with a red flannel.
And he got where he shot a compound bow with his fingers too. I don't even think he.
I've seen those videos. Yeah, maybe there's something to do with because he's stalking them. He understands the wind and the terrain and where to be and all that. That might play more into you. But if you're still hunting, you're sitting still and you're in a spot that you can't move. So if a deer looks up and sees you go like this, well, he saw the movement. Now you got just a solid red or blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not no scientist, man. I just kind of.
Man, I've seen them come in there and turn around and look up at you, and you move an eyeball, and the darn jokers take for it.
Yeah. Because they don't see.
Why does it always seem like they're looking dead at you?
I know.
No matter what, they seem like they're looking dead at you, but they're not. But they seem like they're looking dead at you. You're like, oh, he sees me.
Like a flounder, they're looking down, but it looks like.
Yeah.
But they can't.
They always look.
They don't see three-dimensionally, so they might see you, but what they're doing is they're just waiting for a movement. You know what I mean? They see something, but they don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. So when you move, that Don Hutchison wanting over my hair. My mom said the same thing. She went a little too short on my hair the other day. But the difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut is 2 weeks. But yeah, so they. What were we talking about? Movement and stuff. They'll look at you and they're staring at you, but they don't see.
They know something not quite right.
Yeah. Which is why, in the whole climber versus saddle debate, that's another thing. If you got your summit climber, you're sitting off the damn tree. You're this far off the tree, like this big old bump on the side of a tree. And if deer are actually paying attention to their surroundings, like, if you take a twig down, they'll notice like something's off.
Yeah.
Well, then if you're hanging off the side of that tree, like that, that's just one more.
I guess that saddle, you kind of wiggle, do like a squirrel and wiggle around.
You sit right up against the tree pretty much. When you stand, you're only ever like this far off, unless you get. There are times where you lean back,
Oh yeah.
And that screwed me last year, learning how to stay still in that, because you sit there like this.
No.
Like just hanging out. And I did this, and I looked over, and there he was. But it was right at maybe 20 minutes until it was completely dark. Like shooting light was only about 10 minutes left, and I couldn't even see what he was. I could just see I could see his silhouette because the way the light was, and he was just standing there looking at me. And I froze when I saw him, but it was too late. But he didn't run or spook. I don't think he knew what I was because I only climbed up about 12 feet because that was the top of the oak tree that was next to me.
Yeah.
So I had all this cover. He just caught the movement and he looked at it and decided, well, I ain't walking that way no more. And he just walked off the other way. He didn't like run or nothing. So
Might be back the next day. You never know when to do something like that.
he wasn't back the next day. You know I went.
We hunted the hell out of that spot for the next 4 weeks straight.
No.
Didn't see another deer.
No, I did not. I didn't have time. That was right before I left last year.
Man. Yeah, I believe I'm glad it's gonna be a little bit cooler.
Yeah,
For
Yeah,
opening
nice.
day.
it's gonna be rainy Saturday.
Saturday morning, I think, right?
Yeah.
So after that rain, better be in the tree.
Yep. Right after
Are
it.
you gonna hunt the morning Saturday?
If
You
it
hunt all
ain't
day?
raining, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just a little tip out there for you guys that don't give a shit about it. The red moon Saturday is 4 o'clock. That's like prime red moon time for evening hunt.
I like that thing too. I go by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I trust it, man. I think.
A lot of guys don't like to hunt in the morning time, early season, but there are benefits of hunting at earliest time. Get them coming back to their bed.
Yeah. Been out all night walking around.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of benefits of hunting in the morning.
I've seen bigger deer in the mornings, but I've killed my biggest deer in the evening.
Yeah.
That makes any sense.
Yeah. You see the bigger ones, you ain't got no kill shot. Yeah.
Yeah. The first day I hunted last year, I think Saturday poured down rain, didn't it? Of opening day.
Last year? Yeah.
Yeah.
It poured down after. It rained. It was dry during, because that's when you wanted me to walk in there and
No, yeah, that's the day
try
I
to
saw
jump
that
up
big
slough.
deer. Yeah.
We think it was slough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it started raining.
And it started pouring down rain. He came down within 25, 30 yards, just stood behind a tree. I was like, oh, he's got to go left or right because surely he's not coming down and then going to go back. But sure enough, he stood behind that tree and I couldn't see. And
I think he saw you.
he couldn't have.
I mean,
That tree wasn't there. He was dead. But he just stopped behind that tree. Then it started sprinkling. Then it started pouring and he didn't move. But then I think he just backed up into this thick stuff.
he could have been sitting there the whole time I was trying
He could have been right there.
He's mature, so he probably knew, like, okay, unless this motherfucker steps on me, I ain't moving. He don't see me. He might be looking for me, but he don't see me.
Laying
I can definitely outrun that motherfucker.
So that was opening day, coming down. I could see his velvet coming. I was like, oh, please just.
Sitting in the dumbest. I hunted that tree once, and I was like, "This is."
It's the only tree you can actually put a stand
It's
in
the
there.
only tree you can put a stand. It's the only tree you can climb.
Yeah.
I had a saddle.
Yeah.
And sticks, so I could have went to any tree, but there just aren't no trees around there.
Yeah.
And then if you let hunter deer long enough, I've had to wait for trees to get big enough.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
a long
BT,
time.
how old are you?
I'll be 58 man this month.
God damn, sir. 58, grandpa status.
BT said, I've hunted so long, I've waited for trees to get big enough.
That's gonna be a good tree when I'm 70.
I need that on a shirt.
Yeah.
BT.
Put some nice fertilizer on
At the end of that quote, BT.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and quote that. That'd be
Yeah.
funny.
Quote that. Someone write that down who's watching.
There's been a
BT's
pump
quote.
tree.
We only got
Right
13.
on
You guys aren't very popular. We only got 13 people watching.
I think the problem is you just said BT was going to be here. You didn't say I was going to be here.
There you
I
go.
know,
You gotta
I-
get it straight.
Well, I went back and I amended it. I tell you what, you probably could get a big drawing, but you can't never commit to nothing, man. This boy works. I don't understand it. If he came and did what I did, I'd make him a millionaire. Not that he don't make good money, don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
he works his ass off. I'm like, God damn, son. Made me think like I'm slacking off and shit, being lazy. And
Anybody
so,
ask any questions? Nobody got any
No.
deer hunting
no,
questions?
everybody is liking my hair though. You like
Probably the
that?
holidays.
You like that mullet? I went in, look, so when I cut all my hair off, I went in and she gave me what they call like a modern mullet, I guess is the name of it. I should do something cool with it.
Oh,
'Cause I
okay.
had long hair was longer. And then when I went back, Saturday, my girl wasn't there, so I went to the next girl. I said, I just need to get a haircut. And she was like, so are we going modern or redneck? I said, redneck that shit. And sure shit, she did, man. That's like all I need is some fucking lightning bolts.
Yeah. Brian Bosworth up here.
What do you call it? A burst fade? Is that what it's called? A burst fade? I don't know. But anyway, all right. So if anybody's got any questions for BT, or you can ask, what Randy's, with chicken bones or whatever he's doing to get fucking lucky in his voodoo. You can ask. But go ahead and tell us. I know you've been on before, and I know you've told the story 100 times. Go ahead and tell us for opening season, your first month of opening, early season. What is your strategy? What are you doing? What you looking for?
Little grapes and acorns, like the wind, like get a storm or something, blow acorns down.
So
Start looking for stuff like that, and browse,
what's browse?
like briar or just bushes, and like there's a berry, I forgot what they're called. I thought they were wild blueberries.
Elderberries.
Elderberries.
Those little black ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And they start those bushes. And there's some other stuff over in the area I hunt at around swamps. They call it tie or something like that. It's like a shrub.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got little stem that hangs down. It's got little berries on it.
Yeah.
In certain years.
I mean, they'll
You
eat
can
anything.
eat that
These
up.
deer will eat anything.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, this time of year, just look for the green stuff. I mean, they're eating any flower they can
They don't have to
find.
go anywhere, really.
No, they don't. They don't have to leave the draws.
Mhm.
That's the bad part about this time of year. Everything's green. They'll eat everything.
Hope that it's hot, they'll get up on the hill where the wind's blowing and lay there on the hill.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only good news. It's not supposed to be hot
That's what
this
it's
weekend,
not.
so they can get away from that water source a little bit and venture out.
And I ain't gonna get near the water source neither.
Mm-mm.
Also,
No mosquitoes.
I'll stay up on the hill this time of year, away from that wide open. I ain't gonna get that thick stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wait till it gets cold. I used to try to get in there, and I think you told me years ago, just like, no, I ain't going in there this time of year. I wait for it to get cold and snakes and everything. And I was like, oh shit, I'm down in there.
I'm walking right over them.
I'm walking right in
They
there.
out there like, you scared of a little snake? I said, no, I'm scared of the big snake.
Yeah, big snake.
Yeah. I don't like snakes, man. They're kill them on sight. I know some people that like into reptiles. Whenever I think Don Hutchins killed that snake, well, I don't kill him. He's important for the environment.
No, that was Bishop.
Greg Bishop, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, he killed the snake, and then some guy this guy was getting serious. It seemed like.
Yeah, they were dead serious.
I was like, yeah, I'm killing every fight. I don't care if he's harmless or not. I'm killing his ass.
Well,
I don't got time to fucking get a ruler out and measure. He's dead.
Well, there's a lot of water snakes out here, but that spot you were talking about earlier with the rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
I drove through in my truck one time, and a snake come out of that creek. I went out in the middle of the middle of the road and did like that. It was a cot. I mean, it was really a cot.
Yeah.
I was like, buddy.
Yeah, and in that same draw, I have chased deer in there that I shot following the blood trail. Remember that time? Were you there? Did I call you? Remember I got lost in the draw that one night?
Did you shoot a deer?
I shot a deer and I tracked the blood. I mean, it got dark. I shot it right at dark. I let it run into the.
Is this one that had spots?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I found that one. Hey, that was a good shot, though.
Ain't it that spot?
No, that's the one I was talking about last week. I was talking to James White on the text.
I was like, what the hell did you shoot?
Yeah, he wants to laugh. He brought me a deer one time that he shot that was the size of a jackrabbit. I swear to God.
Jackrabbits aren't even real. How could it be the size of a jackrabbit?
No, that jackalope's not real. The fucking jackrabbit's real. The big fucking rabbit, like the big ones.
Hey man, it looked big by
It
itself.
literally fit inside of like one of those little lunchboxes.
Oh man, it did.
You was out, you're like, man, how far is that?
No, it's because the year before that he didn't kill anything.
I was
Even a
hunting
whole
on,
year.
I was a member of a club, and this was right by the Goodyear plant. I forget what the name of the club was.
Oh yeah,
What?
going out there.
Yeah, and I was hunting over a corn pile, and there was a deer at it. I was like, I texted him and said, "There's a deer sitting in this corn pile. It's a doe." And he said, "Shoot it. You haven't shot anything all year." I was like, I can't tell how big it is. It's by itself, right? I was like, oh, what the hell? I'll shoot it, but I'm gonna shoot it in the head so it doesn't go anywhere.
Needless to say, it had no head after he shot it so small. It had no head.
Shot it in the head.
I was like, you gotta be, I mean, he literally, it didn't go a whole season because he was being selective. He didn't see shit.
I saw stuff. Don't worry.
You missed or whatever. I was like, you gotta like, whatever the terminology is, you gotta like get that taste for blood back. And then he brought it to my house and I was like, motherfucking cat.
It was so little, you could just rip the fur right off. It just ripped off.
It tended to be
Just
But it was good. I mean, the back straps were like that big around. They were like small, but it was
I
good.
couldn't believe it.
I shot an old doe one time with my bow, and she ran up, and I seen her fall. It was an old doe. She was only like 70 pounds. And I told one of the guys that were working there at the desk, and I called him. I said, "Man, I shot this doe. I know she's dead, but I can't find her." I walked and walked for 10, 15 minutes. And finally I seen this there was a secondary fire break, and the oak tree had fell. And I looked under that oak tree and she had fell and slid under that. And I was like, damn, I'm gonna be late, because that's back when we used to have to sign out.
You had to go back. Oh, on paper.
And I called Larry Steele. He was the game warden out there, and he was working behind the counter because his legs were fat. And I called him. I said, I'm on my way in. I like to never found
And just dive underneath a tree.
that. And she slid. She just ran up.
She slid.
She dead when she hit it, but she just slid right up underneath.
You remember that time we were hunting? Me and him were hunting probably like what, 50 yards, 100 yards.
Close.
And it was one of them days. It was just when I was getting into the feed times and the moon phase.
Oh yeah.
And we were talking about it, and I said, "Well, fuck, 3:30 is like the hot spot. That's the time. That's the time to go."
Mm-hmm.
So we go out there. We got set. Yeah. We were only there for like an hour. Maybe it was about 3:30. And this late season, wasn't it? Wasn't it December?
The only thing I remember, we had to walk through damn water to
Yeah.
get there.
You got to walk.
Beaver Dam, and we had to walk through the water to get to this spot that Chase Higgendorf, or what? Chase's last
Chase
name.
Higgendorf.
He told us to go to. Just had to walk through the damn.
You had to walk probably 300 yards through like Beaver Dam. You're walking on the Beaver Dam.
Yeah.
But you're only going 50 yards from where you park. It's just you have to walk
here,
all the way around.
Water. Walk around this,
and I deer. What was it? A 4-pointer, a small deer.
Small deer.
Not even worth hanging a hat on. But he came out, and I watched him, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. This is 5-6 years ago. I'm shooting him. I'm just waiting for something else, because I heard some grunts, and I'm like, okay, they say there's going to be a big deer behind him, but then my nerves got the best of me, and I drew. I shot him, and he took off, and about
towards me.
10 seconds later, I hear Randy's crossbow. And he was like laughing. You fucking missed. He's making it. I'm like, oh shit, I did, but he killed.
No, it's because he shot, and then I saw him standing there still. And I was like, shit, I think you missed, because I see him standing. And then I said, is it a small buck? He said, yeah. I said, and then he started running towards me. I said, well, I'm going to kill him for you, because I didn't want to shoot it. I didn't want to shoot.
You are lying. You are lying. You are lying.
I think it was barely a spike or a.
You are
You wouldn't even
lying.
shot this. You wouldn't even think about shooting this deer.
No.
So this thing's running by me, and I stop it at 20 yards. I shoot it, and it runs back towards him.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So he climbs down, and he's like, "Well, I got a blood trail over here.
Big blood trail.
I did hit it." I was like, cool, because I'm not tagging that deer, because that's not mine. I just killed your deer.
He's so
for you. He goes over there and goes, damn, I got my deer. And within, 20 yards, there was the deer I shot.
No, they were laying next to each other.
There were two damn small
I texted them and I said, you're not going to fucking
tag.
believe this. They were like literally laying next to each other.
Wow, it's a wasted tag.
And I hit that deer I was aiming because he was facing me, kind of quarter.
Here comes another missed shot.
Yeah, no.
Missed shot.
But I clipped him in the top, like right here, with a freaking rage rampage, mechanical.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, how he was able to run, because he was damn near decapitated.
Oh yeah, his head was on.
I think he ran and hit a tree, and it just kind of like snapped it, because his head was off. He would never ran. But yeah, he was already like, oh, I killed the deer.
Yeah, I killed his deer.
No,
I killed his deer.
Don't let him fool you.
Because you thought you missed, and he was running towards me, and I just shot him.
Y'all got a double.
Huh?
Y'all got a double.
Yeah, double scrub.
And you were so
Double
excited.
scrub.
He's like, oh yeah, I didn't care. He was like, and then
Then we had to drag these things through water.
Yeah. He
Because
drug it. I put mine. It was so small. I put it up on my shoulders. I gutted it out there, and I remember I still smelled the cavity, because it was like dripping all down my neck. I'm like, I ain't dragging this deer. The antlers weren't big enough to pull.
no, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Shooting in the deer.
Mine was bigger than yours, though.
I
at
thought
least
I
had
shot
claws.
your deer.
No, you did.
Hey,
I wouldn't have shot that
Back
deer.
in the day, if they had a little bit of bone showing,
Yeah.
it was gone.
I was going for doe.
He talked about that. You texted me for 3 days after that. on how
I
excited
can't
you were.
believe you made me
Yeah,
tag
that's
this
not
deer.
true. And then my father-in-law at the time, he was there, and it was a perfect shot. I mean, his shot was perfect. It was right in the kill. And then it wasn't about 6 months later that I said something about a crossbow, and he goes, "Randy killed that deer with a crossbow?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I was out there telling him it was a good shot."
It was a good damn shot.
All right, do we have a question
It was
here?
a good damn shot.
Garrett says, getting back a month into season, any tips for making up scouting time? Probably going to stick to most of what I know from last year, but interested in new areas. So Garrett is deployed right now. So he's going to miss the first month of season. So we'll be coming back, let's say October 5th. That's a month. So just get back to the spot you were at, or
I think, yeah, because I mean,
No.
acorns might start.
Yeah, they might be falling.
I'm going to say, Garrett, no. The spots that you were in that you know the ones that I know where you're at, you want to stay away from those. There's no good deer there. You want to go.
We've already been to those spots.
Yeah, we've already been there. There's nothing there. Stay away from those spots.
A lot of training going on there.
Yeah, man. I like to go to new spots. I mean, I do. I just go pick an area. I'm saying,
Oh yeah.
I'm going to walk in here, and it seems every time I go to a new spot, I see a deer that night.
Your chances of seeing it, in my experience,
I just look for the sign.
A new
Hunt
spot.
fresh sign. I mean, that's what you got to do. Find the fresh sign and hunt it.
That's it. You
That's
get on it, put your stand on your back or whatever, and go to walk.
You walk across the fire break. There's fresh tracks. Look where they're going. Look where they're coming from, and go somewhere along that path.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy. It is simple, but the mental part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta know what fresh looks like too.
Right,
I mean,
but
you
the
can't
mental
just see
part of
tracks
it-
and go.
Well, it's like
The
Skipper.
spider web.
Skipper was talking about hunting in these areas where there's like, and the way he's describing them and everything. And I'm like, you got to have a lot of hours logged to pick a spot like that, because I still need to. I got to have a scrape or somewhere. Something that I gotta, like, there's a scrape there. So it's like counting cards at blackjack. You're not gonna win every time.
Mm-hmm.
The odds are better than if you just go sit in the middle of a field that there's no sign, but you know that they're around, and but your chances of seeing a deer are usually better in a brand new spot.
Yeah.
And I know that, and I've experienced that, and I'll find a spot like, oh, this would be a good spot when I hunt this. But then that one spot that I've been burning up keeps digging at me. And then
Like he's walking.
What I do
right
is
now.
I usually hunt a spot, and then you got to be mobile. So I just go 100, 200 yards from that spot because they're around you somewhere. These deer are there somewhere around you. They're within 200-300 yards. They hear you. They smell you. They are there.
Yeah.
It's just you're missing them. You're 200-300 yards off max of seeing deer.
They're just out of your sight.
Yeah, they're just out of your sight. Or like most of us, we get distracted in the stand. If you're not 100% focused on those woods, and I'm not talking about the first 20-30 minutes of hunt, we're all focused 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
Here comes 30 minutes. We're like, oh shit, I'm
Fucking
looking on his phone.
Yeah.
Damn, where's the wife? Kids?
Yeah.
Who's texting me?
Yeah.
Damn, buddy shot another spike. What?
Yeah.
All I can say is these cell phones will save your deer's life.
Oh, they have.
I was just telling my son that today. I was like, this year, you're talking about what I was saying before about not being able to go every day.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be more selective. I'm not taking no scents. I'm not using no motherfucking estrus. None of that shit. I'm not even buying it. Normally, I've already bought like all no estrus, no freaking branch butter, none of that shit. I'm gonna have a grunt call. I have to have that because you see him.
BT's got a tube of branch butter in his car right now. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you.
I know. He's the one that put me onto it.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing none of that shit this year. And I was telling my son today, I was like, and I said, if I could just get away from my damn phone, like I need to hunt spots with no service because that fucks me how many times have you been looking at your phone and then look up and there he is?
Or the double drop down buck caused me to miss.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting there like that and looked, and he's standing there and he's backing up. He had it reversed.
Yeah. Just imagine all the deer you haven't seen though.
Yeah.
Because if you just took your 1 minute, like if I took my eyes off the woods, that one I killed, that big 7 last year, he was just hauling ass down through the valley. If I just looked away for 30 seconds, I would never even seen him. Never seen him. Never. I would never.
And then
look up like, oh, no deer.
Have you ever been watching a deer? And I know you did that. You were watching that damn button buck that I had to talk you out of. I had to shame you out of not shooting, and you were staring at him. You're like, I keep losing him. Like he's right there. He's 30 yards away, and you're staring at him. But if you look away and then look back, you have to wait
Yeah.
for movement because they really do blend in.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're hunting a big wide open area, you think that if he steps out there, you're going to see him. You think you're going to see him, and he could have been walking that whole time. But if you're just like, just looking at your phone, you ain't gonna see his ass.
Yeah.
You
I'll
know.
be right on top of you, and you're gonna say,
Yeah.
where'd he come from?
Yeah.
So Buddy Ard wants to know, which of us three are gonna tag out first, and who wants to do side bets.
What's the other three of us?
Yeah, I think Randy's gonna tag out first because he shoots every fucking thing that walks.
no shame. Don't forget, I have 3 kids too.
No,
They all have to
legally tag out.
The kids had to tag out.
Well, 6 tags.
Oh, 6 tags.
I'm gonna bet on Randy on that one because he don't have no damn moral compass. He shoots
No,
everything.
if it's 120 inches, it's going down.
And if it's 90 inches or 10 inches, it's
120.
going down.
No, not this year. 120. I got
BT don't focus on. Let me just answer, Buddy. You let a lot of deer. You just specifically only shoot certain deer. Like it's got to be like a 150 or better,
Or I'd say 125.
125 or better. Like you don't shoot. Like I've seen you take videos of. You sent me one a couple years ago of an 8-pointer. That was a nice mounter. Like a lot of guys would have been happy to fucking put that thing on
When
the
they
wall.
laid down there.
Yeah, he laid down.
He laid down
Oh,
flat.
yeah, you did.
And then went around me and come back up. And I was like, I just walked across the road. Walked on, and I'm like, I was shaking.
I think now I'm just going to focus on not the inches. I'm just going to focus on if the deer's mature or not.
Age,
Yeah,
old
I think
guy
mature.
Goofy
That's
was
old.
an old deer.
Yeah,
Mature is,
weird
yeah.
looking deer is good for me. If he's weird looking and
Yeah. And I wasn't even going to shoot him when I seen him on camera. But
wasn't
when I
someone
seen-
just on here just the other day? So there's a big ass old deer with just
Yeah.
big
Cow horns.
Yeah, I'll shoot him.
Yeah.
main beam?
No,
Yeah.
I would like see me honestly. If I have a choice, if you tell me like if you say there's 5 deer out there, which one do you want to shoot? I want to shoot the most non-typical one because anybody, I say anybody, everybody that shoots a big nice deer is always like an 8-pointer or a 10-pointer or a 6, something common. It is symmetrical. I like first of all brow tines. He could have little ass antlers. If he's got brow tines this big, he got me. You had me at hello. But if he's got like a little kicker or a drop tine or something that makes him a little different, even if he's smaller, like for instance, I don't know, because both the skippers deer last year.
Yeah, they were small.
Because he had those split brow tines.
How about that one from 2020? The one that had the twirl.
Oh my God, that one that
he wasn't-
Logan.
Yeah, he wasn't too wide or anything, but I still think he measured 180 inches.
Had
If
some
I'm
carriage
mistaken.
on.
Yeah.
But he had the.
He had like a
Damn, when that deer was
3
posted, I was
main
like, this is fake.
yeah. So we all thought it
What
was
the hell posted this fake
Yeah,
deer?
yeah. Had was it the brow tine that come up and made another beam right there?
No, it was the one that came down over his head.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like all twisted. He had
Yeah,
two.
twirl it.
He
Twirled
had-
all the
He
way.
had 2 main beams, but he had another one that
Yeah.
came like his brow
Yeah,
tine.
he had
was
one
down
right
and twisted.
there.
Okay.
That was a beautiful. I would mount that one. You know what I'm saying? Before
He mounted that one. He
Yeah.
took that to the deuce.
And a lot of it's got to do with
Last-
memories too. I mean, I killed a 6-pointer one time
He's nice looking.
that wasn't real big.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm just gonna take this.
Remember him? Remember him like had that being that big?
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
I remember we killed him that too.
There's him in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
I've seen
I got a picture of him on my
Yeah.
phone too.
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
wonder how many people were chasing that deer that he.
Old Sandy Nelson had him on camera. I know that.
There was 2 over there, right?
Yeah.
2 different deer over there that were killed.
All right, so James Barrett says those cameras, not on brag, of course, haven't been seeing any big bucks. Big bucks contest numbers are low. Yeah, I didn't know a whole lot of people going in this year. I think I don't know. Maybe the mentality is different. My mentality is different. So
People were scared off because Skipper's in there.
because
And they ain't got fired up yet. When it gets cold, maybe people will be like,
yeah.
but it's gonna be too late to enter the contest.
It'll be too late,
Yeah.
I just say spend the $50.
25. You can do one or the other.
I mean, look, you can be new to hunt. Look, it doesn't matter how long you've been hunting.
No.
Those guys that I had on 2 weeks ago, Steve and Chris, are a testament to that. They are, in my opinion, they are really good deer hunters.
Mhm.
They kill, they target nice bucks. Now, are they knocking down 200s and 170s? Not yet, but they will eventually. And they just started hunting.
Yeah. Steve had a couple. I was over his house and he had a couple 90 inchers over there. Good job, Steve. Proud of you, buddy. We'll get up there one day.
Yeah, but considering that considering that he just started hunting,
Yeah, that's
and the way he
that's big.
targets,
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
He's methodical about everything.
Yeah, it's like
He is.
they kind of, like I said, the tradition is different. A lot of guys, I mean, I started hunting the same way only 10 years ago, but you went out to a corn pile and you sat over a corn pile and you hunted, or you went on private land where there was an edge of a field where they were eating, and that was hunting. Or you hunted with dogs, just all depends.
Yeah, we ran dogs years.
Yeah, but now,
I've never done
like,
dogs.
they didn't have, it's actually fun.
It sounds pretty damn cool.
And it's not like you think. Like, the
Yeah.
first time I went hunting with dogs was on one of those outdoor veteran things where
Yeah.
you enter, you comment
Okay.
that, BT is the man, and then you get selected. And so we went up to Virginia, me and my cousin, and we brought 1,000 shotgun shells. We thought we were going to come back with a truckload of deer.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't see shit all day with them, because you learn then that, like, in those parts of the country where they do that, if you didn't hunt with dogs, you would never see a deer. They don't have woods like Fort Bragg. You can't walk through a lot of these woods.
Yeah.
I mean, you might see them out in a cornfield, but by the time you can't get to them because the woods are so thick. So dogs is a tradition. But nowadays, you can come into hunting, watching public, the Hunting Public, and all these other shows where you can literally pull up topography. If you want to learn it, you got to learn how to read that map. You don't just look at topography and know what it is. You got to know what all those squiggly lines are.
Yeah.
Then you've got to find out how they relate to deer movement, to barometric pressures and times of day and, season. That's a lot of knowledge. That's a lot of studying. It's things that I'm picking up as I go. After this will be my 11th year deer hunting. And I'm just kind of learning, because I've never really sat down to just kind of study it like it was a anatomy class, or a brain surgery class. And if you use that approach nowadays with the technology.
And the good thing about Fort Bragg too is the fire breaks, they're squared off and stuff. If you feel like hunting a certain deer, you find where he's crossing the road, walk down this fire break, circle all the way around the fire breaks and see if he's crossing there, just
Yeah, no, I've done
work
that.
to see where
No, I've done that. So a whole lot of walking ain't never paid off for me.
Good exercise.
Whole lot of walking.
I did a whole lot of walking. No, I had some. My issue now is closing the deal. Okay, I've been able to get on nice deer, especially last year, twice, and I still think the one that busted me is the same one that I missed the year before. Is the same one that you killed. Because remember when I missed them, and I shot the doe on accident. I thought I was shooting him, but I was like,
How many stories we got of him missing something?
hey, that's
Bad
the
shot.
damn
Hey,
truth.
He texted me, yeah, I got one. He shot out a buck. He goes up there, it's the damn doe.
Well, no,
Whatever you tell me.
I just told him a story.
Luckily, you were in either sex area.
Yeah, it was in either sex area, but I think so. Yeah, I was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was that day. I'll go back and look. No, I know it was. Anyway, I shot. Anyway, remember I was explaining to you, I was like, he wasn't like any deer I've ever seen around here. He was like fucking wide, like a
really
moose,
wide.
and he wasn't very tall. Well, if you go back and you look at the one the first one he killed, that is him.
That deer was 20. I forget how many inches wide that deer was.
Wow.
Oh, the one you had at the cookout?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was wide.
No, that was the one you got in
No,
K. The one
I
you
brought two of them.
Oh, you brought two of them? Yeah.
I brought the 7. The really
Did
wide.
you
Okay,
kill
what
the
we
same
got?
deer?
No,
Oh.
the other one I killed in K. Though.
Oh, okay.
Buddy R said, if you want to join in on some dog hunts, just hit up Smith Hills Game Lands. Half the dudes are happy to have standards. Okay, so if you want to hunt with dogs and experience it, I don't like it. I'll be honest with you. It was fun the first time, and then I joined the club with my cousin Willie. He was a member of a club up in Virginia. And so he was stationed in Virginia, so he joined this club. And I used to go up there and hunt with him. And then he paid for my membership one year, so I went. And it was a good time to go. It was a good trip. Nice woods up there. But they don't manage their woods because they hunt bears and they hunt with dogs. And they want it thick like that. That's the whole point. So when you go to try to still hunt, you can't. Like certain days you can't. So I was a member. I bring my camera up there. And if I wanted to hunt, you had to go draw a fucking number. This is where you stand. You don't have no say in it. And then you stand there and you just fiddle fuck around until you hear him. You got a radio, and they're like, "Oh, he's coming over here," and you're like, "Okay, well, there he goes. He's running over
Like
there."
a street run.
You know, and you got buckshot, and you got another guy staying, so you got lanes that you can't shoot. You know, and then so there were a few times you're sitting there and you hear the freaking the leaves getting busted above your head because somebody's shooting at the deer, and it's, you know,
like that's it.
yeah, like it wasn't fun for me, man. I kind of, even still hunting, I kind of like the fact that you got to figure some shit out. We're not hunting over corn, you know. Even guys that sneak corn, I don't do it. I don't, you know, baiting of any type. I just don't do it because I'm lazy, and that's more things I got to carry and more things I got to keep up, which is why I didn't run a bunch of cameras. But I kind of like the fact that when you do catch him slipping, you're like, even if it's an accident, it's a lot, you know, you still had some thought in it. You didn't just go find a tree and say, "Oh, I'm going to sit here because it's pretty." You know, you were like, "Oh, I think this." So a little bit of the education gets put to the test, and you learn, and then you know.
He's like, you move on, and you're like, "Okay, let me try this," or it's a adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like a pattern, though. Sometimes you'll find one and hunt him and take him out, and then the next time, like, "Oh, get us this different and try the same thing." If he find a scrape line or something.
Have you ever picked up a lot of acorns off the ground, and then while you're hunting, you ever drop them? When you see a deer, like drop one.
No, I've never done that.
Drop
I've heard
one.
people doing
Oh
that.
yeah.
Drop one, and they're like, "Oh man, there's acorns dropping somewhere." They know that sound.
Yeah.
And it can get them closer for you.
No, I've tried. I have never done I did the persimmons. Like there's a spot where as I'm walking in, there's a big persimmon tree right on the road, and it's tore up the tracks. So, but again, you don't want to do that because you don't want to drop persimmons where there's no persimmon tree because they know where the persimmon tree is at.
Yeah.
You know, and I've actually had a camera where I just took up I'm talking years back. I got a bag full of persimmons and I dumped them on the fucking trail, and the deer are walking by. Not one of them's eating one of those persimmons. They step them right over and go, "What is this doing here?"
Yeah.
You know,
Kind of like corn. They had them cornfield with 100 miles from here. There's corn.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, almost a couple of deer that I've taken and gutted that have been shot in a certain area, you gut them when you got the guts in there. Gut it. You see all that corn in there. I know that little old deer that I shot last year. Remember when I was like, "I shot a doe," and then you were like, "It's probably got nuts." That's what I was telling you about. I was like, I was waiting. Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, it's a doe." I said, "By itself."
I was waiting I thought it was a doe, and I thought maybe, like I said, I thought it was during like rut-ish right before. I thought maybe a buck would be following, but then there was nothing behind it. There was no buck behind it, so it gave me a shot. I don't think I'd killed anything yet. I'd let things walk already at this point. I hadn't shot, so I went ahead and killed it.
Let some squirrels walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he kills that deer and says, I said, "Yeah, guarantee it has nuts on it."
Yeah, it did.
And it did.
But that little thing was not roaming miles and miles and miles, and it had corn in its belly. And there wasn't, I mean, in order for that deer to be off coast, it had to go like 10 miles.
I shot a 7-pointer in AA one time on my rifle and brought it back to the skinning shed, and it had corn in its mouth.
Really?
Still in its teeth.
I'd like to hunt on that side, but it just takes forever.
They cleared a lot of woods out there one time, and it messed me all
far to get out.
Well, that's what I like about this location is now it's not far.
You're halfway in between.
Yeah, right in between. I can go. I can
get there from work for like 10 minutes. I can leave work and be there in 10 minutes.
Ain't that bad, you know?
Yep.
Well, when you get off of work Saturday, I'll be where you want to go. I'll just tell you that.
No, I ain't down there.
I tell you something else too. Fox squirrels. I don't mess with fox squirrels. I use them. I don't kill them because I think the daggone deer see a fox squirrel missing or been shot. They ain't gonna come and messes them up.
Really?
Mess them up.
And like a fox, a gray fox. I use gray foxes for the deer. They'll follow them.
Yeah.
And then the gray fox go there and pee in the scrape where the deer's scrape. You always seen that?
I've seen
their
them
leg and pee all in.
Yeah.
They mark their territory.
The last time the only time I really have been out scouting this year, I saw a couple scrapes already. A couple scrapes, persimmons everywhere.
Yeah, first time I found persimmons, I hunted them. I ain't never seen nothing but does in daylight.
Yeah.
Now the bucks will come out at night, but So
Used to years ago, they loved the persimmon trees.
yeah.
I mean, they'd be on the corner of the fire breaks, like on intersections, and the deer would be all over them, and then.
That's the problem where they're located at.
I think that there's
They don't come
so,
at night, not
I think
during the
there's
day.
so many, like, I don't know, was there a time where there wasn't that many persimmon trees? Because a lot of the persimmon trees that I see are young. Like they're just starting to put out fruit, so it seems like there's a lot more persimmon trees.
There was a lot of them, but they were all at intersections.
Yeah, but I never saw one.
Yeah.
Fuck, 5 years, I don't brag, I didn't know what a persimmon was.
Yeah, me neither. Someone posted about it, I was like, what are they talking
And then when I found one, I was like, oh, my
Yeah.
father-in-law.
No, I see 'em like
yeah, I see them everywhere. And
about?
I'm
I
like,
just drive and I can see them.
I can remember.
See,
There they are.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have any fruit, I think that's persimmon tree.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I wish I could spot a white oak like that. That's what I need to get into.
You'll get, and look for the bark on the tree, it's kind of black.
Yeah, I did. I did pick one out the other day. I was like, what is that, a white oak? But I said it with a question. Like, I wasn't sure. I was like, no, white oak. They're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
them come out straight like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, I still get screwed up. I thought a post oak was the one with the pear-shaped leaves, but it's not.
What's the pear-shaped leaf?
I think that's a white oak.
I see.
Or blackjack.
Blackjack. I thought blackjack oaks were what we call the flats. The area we call the flats.
Yeah.
Where there's, I thought because the oak trees that are only like 6 feet tall,
Yeah.
5 feet tall, 8 feet tall. If you get up in one of those areas, you could be in the wide open. But when he's on the ground, he's got leaf canopy over his head. He feels like he's invisible down there. And they love to move through that shit.
It used to be like that on post years ago. And that's the way it is in impact areas now. If you look, you'll see all them small oaks.
I didn't hunt the impact area last
mean,
year. I did the year
when you
before.
drive by.
When you drive by, I mean.
Last year I was sitting in an impact area and no, I'm just kidding. No, but what was that one morning? I don't know if you were hunting, but it was cold. It was one of them cold mornings and just out of nowhere, it was like a big ass explosion.
Oh.
It rocked. I mean, it rocked my teeth, man. I was pretty close to the impact area. I won't say I was in it, but I was close to it.
If you hunt
My
in
teeth
between them,
feelings.
in Z or somewhere like that, you'll be sitting there and all of a sudden they fire. Like, shit,
Yeah,
I'm
all
sitting
over
there
your
going,
head.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see it.
Yeah.
I know that
You
spot.
ain't gonna see it. Yeah.
I know that spot.
Well, if you hear it, you're good. When you hear that, same thing going back to like Iraq and Afghanistan. If you hear the launch, and then a couple seconds after you don't hear that thing whizzing over your head, take cover because it's a good chance it's coming at you. Whether it's coming over here or over there, but it's coming at your. So whenever I'm sitting out there and I'm listening, you hear them. They do in like waves. They do like 10, 15 minutes of fire, and then they gotta let the guns cool down.
Yeah.
So I'll sit there and okay, 1, 2, 3, and then I hear it. Just on board. I should be paying attention to deer, but I'm looking at the sky.
Goes another deer.
And then you hear a fucking
Walking
then
around.
you hear that explosion, and I hear 1, 2. I don't hear nothing. I start panicking. I'm like, oh shit! Because if you ever known anybody in the army, and offense to all the Davardi guys, they're like the dumbest. They take the army takes like the dumbest box of rocks and says, "You're not smart enough for the military, but we can put you in artillery." That's how dumb the bastards are, and they're the ones that are like, they're the ones that are pulling the damn
There's
trigger.
at least 20 of them listening.
Well, I was infantry. I can say
That's how
that.
dumb these bastards
I was in the infantry. We did the whole.
20 of the guys watching.
I found that round out there year before last. That was range 63 in double I. And quite a few
Yeah,
years ago.
everybody now is record. Okay.
Rick
I
said I. He said B.
He
in
said
there.
Z2, by the way.
He said Z2.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Now, years ago, we were out there. It was before Thanksgiving when the Marines and all that were out there. They fired rounds off. I guess they were 155s from one impact area to the other, and two or three shots got out and hit area TT.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and there was one guy that was getting ready to get in the stand, and he had breathing problems from what I heard. And
Bet you had some after that too.
He probably had shit in his
when he
pants.
got up to the fire break, when the shrapnel hit the limbs, was knocking limbs out of the trees where the stand was. They said I think he had his shorts on by the time, in a t-shirt by the time he got up to Chicken Road. That rounds were hitting all around him and knocking limbs out of trees, and they said he was breathing fine when he got.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was out there that day, and I heard them rounds. I'm like, that doesn't sound like it.
Well, there you go.
It works.
Luckily, to be fair, the guy who was putting in or calling the measurements, he's actually a smart guy. He's called a forward, or they call a fister, or whatever, whoever's in charge. But the guy that's pulling the rope and loading it, they're like plant life. Like their GT score is like, what is this fucking amoeba? You know?
The guy back there saying, "What's this?"
What happens when you move this?
Yeah,
over
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit here?
They blew a Roundup in K over there in a food field that I found. It was about this big around. It was real rusty, and it narrowed down and had fins on it.
That's more. That's some more around.
I got in touch with wildlife, and they got the demolition guys out there
Yeah.
blew it up.
And me and Brennan were sitting on one during turkey season.
Yeah, he called that one in.
Yeah, he called it in.
He went home. Brandon's like, fucking, not my circus, not my monkeys. Brandon's like, nope, hall monitor.
Yeah.
He was out there stopping traffic.
Yeah. He put up cones around.
Brandon was
it.
out there stopping traffic. Just want to let you know they're about to blow a bomb that I found, and the MPs were.
I
You
said,
can go home now. I'm just kidding with
I
you.
took a stick on mine in the fire break and didn't
Brandon put tape around this thing 100 yards out.
There was guys
Caution.
driving over this one. It was about that long, rusty, and had a silver head on it,
Yeah,
silver tip on
all the way around. Yeah, I can't fucking hard to find a scrape. We'll be walking through the woods and like, hey, stop. And I'll stop. And like, look down. I'm standing in a scrape.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
Because I mean, I go into the woods. I can't help. I don't know. I got to figure out how to fix it. I go into the woods like, okay. I mean, especially like last year, this year, all my shit's technical. I got knots. You know?
Yeah.
I'm climbing trees. I'm looking for the weirdest tree I can get into. I'm trying to like walk further. And I get in there, and for like the first 5 steps, I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden, I start thinking about work or, you know, this or that. Or I wonder what Miss Morgan from
Yeah,
4th grade is doing. You know, I wonder if she's still alive and how she's doing. And then I end up having a conversation I'm going to have with somebody. So I'm pre-gaming the conversation. I do that a lot. And next thing you know, I've walked 500 yards, don't remember shit.
Look at your deer hunting that way too. That way you'll be like, well, there's a low hanging limb over there. Let me go check because there's probably a scrape over there.
Yeah.
Under an oak tree
Yeah.
most of the time.
And every time I put effort into, I'm going to make a mock scrape, I'm going to hang this, and I do all that shit,
Mm-hmm.
never works. So I'm done with all that. Now I'm just going to look for the sign, and I'm going to do basically what you said earlier. Besides going where he sends me, oh, look at this, I've seen this here at this pen. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, why did you tell me that? No, but I ain't using no sense or none of that shit.
I like this. But maybe took that other stuff and put on a antler or stick. I got a stick in the back of my Jeep in a bag.
Yeah.
And I'll take that butter and rub on it and go over there and take a daggone sapling. And when I make mock scrape and just rub the daggone limb, slap off of it.
The first time I used that branch butter you told me to use, you didn't tell me not to take it off with my teeth.
Oh, yeah.
It was warm. It was sitting in my
It was
car.
like building up
You know,
pressure.
little tab on top. I couldn't get it with my fingers. So I was like, let me get it in my teeth. And I got that and thing.
And it
Right in my mouth,
exploded.
man.
Got
Right in my
lip
mouth.
curl.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, last year, so I have 3 tubes of branch butter because
He lost the
I
first
lost
two.
the first 2. I got the 3rd one, and then as soon as the 3rd one came in that day, I was driving down the fucking fire break. I think I was going to scout an area that I'd already been in, just go check the camera probably. And I look and I saw something shining. And you know, it's silver. Didn't think nothing of it. I drove and I was like, I backed up. There it was.
Oh, man.
There was the original one. And then the next day, on a totally different fire break in a totally different area. No, what fire break? It was at a scrape. I guess I thought I put it in one of my pouches and it fell out.
Slipped up.
So here I am. So I got 3 tubes of branch butter. I'm gonna throw them away. They ain't no good at. Are they good for anything?
If they get liquidy, they stink and then it's go bad. But
Yeah.
I didn't put them in the refrigerator or something.
No, I'm gonna throw them away so I'm not tempted to fucking use it.
Is it-
How many times have you ever used like deer piss that you found from like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I
Feel like ammonia or something.
feel like ammonia. I'm like, fuck it, it's what I got. I gotta do something to get them here.
I've killed several deer though on brag with just a grunt, and they come in and they go right to whatever I have hanging there. And
I don't
put their nose right on
understand.
it.
Listen, I don't understand how it works. It never works for me. And literally, he'll walk in the dark, and by the time he gets to his tree, number one, he's already found 3 or 4 scrapes. How the fuck you do that in the dark? I can't do that.
Walk right up on him.
Or he'll stop and he'll throw that deer piss, that golden shit that you buy at Walmart, scrape it up, go sit in the damn tree. Hour later, kill a deer. I don't get it.
I know where they're at, I guess.
You gotta notice one. Last year I was hunting a spot there where I killed a big deer at, and I walked in there and I called my buddy David up and I said, "Oh, I smell that deer." He said, "Go get your mess and get in the tree." That evening I looked over and I saw a nice 8-pointer that I was gonna shoot. He come up and he was coming toward me zigzagging, and all of a sudden he just decided to walk up, go toward the road. And I heard something look, and there was a great big one just walk right up under me and walk down. I couldn't even get a shot in either one.
Oh man,
Made me sick.
So yeah, that's the thing about you. You make sure you got a good shot.
Yeah.
You know, most of us are slinging it, hitting him in the ass and hoping I get that.
I've had my share of years. I've shot up under them, over them, and the worst shot to me is right there.
Yeah, that's what you shoot over.
Oh my god!
Because you have to. I've shot a deer from that close. You have to. For me,
aim low.
I have to aim to where if it does go where I'm aiming, I'm gonna miss the deer, and so you do that and you hit them center mass. But the getting over that mental hurdle of I'm literally aiming to miss this deer. Yeah, that's hard to overcome.
Got to put that pin right where your kill shot is. That's
Matter of
where I
fact, a
look
couple
at
of
it.
years ago, I killed that one right before it started downpouring. You were hunting close, and I missed because he was. Not only was I elevated,
I found that
the
bolt last
ground,
year. Yeah.
he was right directly below me, and I shot right over him. And then I didn't have my cocking rope. And you know how hard it is to pull back one of these crossbows?
No,
Yeah.
I don't have one of the old. I was like, what the hell am I going to do? He just walked 10 yards and stood. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't have the rope. It was in like my bag that was hanging. I was like,
He was packing up to go home.
Yeah,
he was
packing up to
bitching
go
and
home.
complaining.
I was like,
And that was one of the. I was the one bitching.
yeah, you was like,
it's
too windy. You're not going to see deer. I said, dude, we sat this long to sit a little bit longer. And as soon as he said that, here he comes right up to a scrape that I just got to throw some stuff.
I said, I'm packing up. And you said, yeah, fuck it. And you were packing up. That's why you didn't have all your shit and the deer came out.
So imagine trying to pull this back. You know, you can get your foot on it somehow. I'm sitting in a climber and then pull it back, but I couldn't get it there without him hearing me. I had to put that bow on my chest and pull it back like this. And I got it back.
Adrenaline.
I was like, I got it back, and he's still standing there, and I didn't miss that time.
Yeah.
And then it started downpouring, and I couldn't find any blood because it dumped.
Washed it away.
It dumped quick. And
Yeah, I was trying to find him.
I found him laying.
I was trying to find him. Remember, I had to come to his car, and I took I don't know. I kept going because it was raining so hard, and then I look up and I start seeing like. Well, I don't want to give the spot away, but I found some stuff that I was like, I shouldn't be here right now. So I turned around and finally found it. But yeah, that was a trip because I was already coming down. I had seen, there were like, that was that area where there were 8 does. I watched does for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Waiting on a buck.
Right. He told me not to shoot a doe in that area.
And he wanted to shoot something. And I said, well, go in there, but don't shoot the doe because this rut now. It's right in between first and second, whatever. What does he do? Shoots a fucking doe. Guess what happened? I never saw another doe in there the rest of that season.
I've seen plenty of does.
Now that buck that I had at 15 feet from the bottom of my tree last year, that buck busted me twice that year. And then after you went and killed that doe, it went radio silent. Matter of fact, I haven't even hunted that spot since then. 3 times after you did that, I hunted it, but it went ghost. So you ruined that spot for me.
No, I've hunted that several times.
No, but that deer's still there, obviously, but he's just going a different route.
He might change back and get some good smell good down there. Get him nose back.
But that deer likes to go into a dumb spot too.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on.
Yeah. He knows where he's going.
Yeah, he goes through the dumb spot, but through the good spot.
Yeah.
This year, I'm going to get him. Anyway, fellas, it's been an hour and 43 minutes. It's 9 o'clock. I know you working tomorrow?
Yeah, I got to work tomorrow. Any questions to answer?
No. Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of people. I thought we'd have more people tonight because it's late. You know, people have just been being lazy all day.
Probably
doing shit. Hey, some of you motherfuckers were posting about Labor Day, and I know y'all ain't got jobs, so y'all need to stop fucking posting all this Labor Day shit. But I'm retired. Motherfucker, you got Veterans Day.
I worked this morning.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
I worked a little bit. I just did some paperwork I had to do. I got to work tomorrow. Supposed to work tonight, actually, late tonight. Got a bomb Fayetteville with Latitude roofing signs.
There you go. I gotta get me a shirt.
Yeah.
What shirt?
Or either I need to get a hunting shirt too, and the hoodie.
Oh yeah, you can go online and get it, man. These hats are dope. I like this one. This is my favorite one. I don't like that it's fitted though. I didn't know that when I ordered it. But I wish I could get Mossy Oak Bottomland. That's what I want, the original Bottomland. But my drop shipper, they only have this and that old school BDU camo, like they used to wear a long time ago, and then some other shit like digital camouflage.
I like to wear different camo and like a different shirt and different pants and a different hat. Everything
all different.
Yeah.
You just like
you
just want them deer laughing at you. Don't you?
Yeah.
Like what?
My shit's gonna all match.
My shit's gonna.
And if we're really going camo, you wear
Who's laying out? That's why I said that was funny.
I put camo.
So the other night, Randy calls me and he goes, "Can I tell this story? Our idea and the gay hunter."
Oh yeah.
So Randy's like, "Man, because I don't know what brought the conversation on, but he goes, I got a niche market. Why don't we just pretend to be gay and do a podcast? Because how many gay hunters are there? That's got to be a
Can't be that many.
Can't be that many." So we had this whole conversation about gay hunters. Be like Chuck and Larry type of thing. But then that led into a weird place where we were actually talking.
Yeah, we try to get it rolling.
What if we were a non-sexual, homosexual relationship? How dope would that be? You know. Anyway, I go on Facebook as soon as I hang up the phone, and that post I made where it says, "Don't lie. What do you got laid out for opening day? Don't lie about it, queers." There's a guy. He's like, "I'm gay, and I approve this message." And I was like, "Are you really gay, or are you just?" He was like, "No, I'm really gay." And I was like, it was just the irony of it. So
he stole our idea.
He stole our idea. That he's going to be,
yeah.
He's listening to this
He's
now. He's
got
going
a
to have the
podcast
gay
going
on the
right
podcast.
Yeah, 5,000 viewers or something.
Yeah.
Because that's, I tell you what, I didn't know, not that gay people don't hunt, but I know gay people, and I ain't never met one that hunt. Maybe I should have them on the podcast. That'd be a trip. Gay hunt.
You should.
Very open too. Don't even give a shit. Like,
Yeah.
my husband. And you see what I said? He said, "But I don't have a crossbow." I said, "You ain't that gay."
You ain't that
You ain't that gay.
ain't that
Hell yeah! I gotta get him on, man. That's the trick.
Get him on.
All right, everybody, we're gonna sign off. Happy whatever day, Labor Day it is.
Happy first day of hunting.
Yeah, 4 days opening day.
I think last year I posted the first dead deer.
Did you?
Was it last year or was it the year
Who
before?
got the first deer last year? Was it you? No, I thought it was. I thought I knew who it was. Who got the first
That
deer?
was 2 years ago then. No, I shot the first deer on Bragg. Because he said, "Yep, this is the first
Am
one."
I?
It
Was
a
it Willie? No, what Willie?
What, to shoot a buck?
No, to shoot a fucking any deer. Who shot the first deer? I can't remember.
I don't know.
For some reason, I thought I knew that.
Damn. The only time I ever done it was that Velvet 10 pointer. That's the only time I ever.
I'm not shooting anything, and no little deers this year. Got to be mature. And not mature, what are we thinking? 4.5?
No, if you want to go after mature deer and you want to be the great white hunter, he's got to be 5, 6, 7. And well, at least a 160.
That's a big.
If you want to, rock big nuts like that, but those of us that know you know that you shoot every motherfucking thing that walks out. Don't lie, you just get lucky. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
If we had it for the 4, still had the 4 books to shoot them down.
Oh boy, what if we had 4 buck tags?
We used to.
Used to, yeah.
Yeah.
Because at one time it was 4 bucks or 6 does. It was.
You could shoot 4. You could shoot 4 bucks, but you can only shoot 6 deer. So
Yeah.
So you could have 4 does, 2 bucks, or you could shoot 6 does.
Did you kill 2 last year or just 1?
Just 1.
One deer.
I almost killed 2. If that 10 pointer would have come back.
Just 1 deer the whole time. So that first year, if you have a 120 coming out, you shooting it? No.
I let him walk for a while.
I'm saying, if you want to step up,
that 120 is getting.
You gotta go
first deer
there.
walks
You
out.
gotta- yeah,
It depends on.
exactly.
I'll show you a picture of that one. I know y'all got a picture of him, but if he comes out, I'm gonna shoot him this.
Yeah.
I missed him last year.
Damn, it's gonna be hard
what,
enough
miss
to
the
shoot.
shot?
I missed shot over the back.
All right, how about a 130?
Yeah, there you go.
130 comes out, you're shooting?
Yeah.
Okay.
130 something.
130 something. But damn,
30.
I don't have no gauge. They all look 130 to me.
They'll fool you too.
It looks 130.
I'm telling you right now, if I kill him and he turns out to be a 120, he gonna be hanging up right up there.
All I'd say if I
Yeah,
shoot
He's
yeah.
him,
gonna be holding another
Yeah,
Stetson.
call you Steve Randall. He hung out there up there.
he's
I didn't
going
see a
on
deer
the wall,
under
whatever
his
he
house.
is. That's the way I do it. Even that 6-pointer, I put him on the wall.
Yeah,
That 6-pointer, that big one, that was a badass deer. That one you got.
I think he's at headquarters.
I remember the first deer I got on Bragg. I was like, oh, this is a little deer, and I had to take it to the skin shed. That was all new to me, and they said, "You getting this mounted?" I said, "What do you mean mounted? Like putting it on a wall?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "It's a little deer," and he said, "That's a big deer for down here."
Down here.
I was like, "No, I'm still not doing it. I haven't mounted any of the deer I killed. Not one.
Not one.
Oh,
But you know what?
that's-
I don't think I'll never shoulder mount another deer. I just like, I'm good with the skull mounts. I put all that money in the mounts that I had Randy, and then when Psycho Cunt burned them, that was hard to take. And I'm like, and I move around too much. If I ever get to, my plan now is, I'm going to buy a piece of land, build a house, and I'll do it. But the way I move,
I should have mounted that one a couple years ago. He was 146. I mean, that one I brought. The one was 128 to 7.
No, that 146 should have got
146. I might kill one next
But
year.
you can.
I can still take him back.
We'll talk to me and get a
Yeah,
cake.
you can still. That's all you gotta do is get a case.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll kill you.
Yeah. Give me a cake this year. I mean, you're good at killing stuff.
You're going to kill at least a couple of spikes.
Listen, I've got more time this year because all my kids are now in school. They're all out of the house. Now I got time.
There you go.
I've got time to hunt now.
You can go out there and do like I did. That when I shot that one that rattled in, I didn't go get the tree till 9:30.
So I've got time.
Well, I am doing that this year, so I will warn everybody that I'm not coming in late. I'm not driving in at 9:30 because but I am walking in at gray light.
That was going to be good in a couple of years.
No more.
Oh, yeah.
No more walking
Yeah,
through
he
the
is
woods
weird.
in the damn dark.
He is weird looking.
Yeah.
I only seen that deer one or a couple times.
He kind of.
Yeah.
Scrubby looking.
You're better than that deer,
No,
DT.
he's some of the genes from them.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why he's got the little whip.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
I was just going to trade
Yeah.
10. I know y'all had him on camera, probably.
10?
That I missed last year.
Like you're not picking up what he's laying down. You don't want to put too much.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but last year I started walking in just as the sun was coming. Summer, you could be a lot more quiet, and the woods are already like kind of loud. You know,
Birds are chirping.
birds are starting to chirp. And
Squirrels are running around on the ground already.
This time of year.
no, not really. They're just kind of waking up. I mean,
Shit,
it actually feels quiet. You know what I mean? When you're walking through at gray light, it actually you just feel like because you can see, you can be more stealthy.
If I'm not up in that tree an hour before it
If
turns,
they
I
let
just
you,
don't
you'd
like
be up
it.
there at 3:00 in the morning.
I told you what
I
happened
like
to me
sitting in
last
the
year
tree.
when I was in a hurry to go get the tree.
What?
I got out, got everything ready, and I put my stand in front of the Jeep and got everything ready and took off down the fire break.
Forgot your stand?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
How the hell do you not realize you're carrying
Oh,
that
yeah.
freaking
I know.
80-pound thing? But you
Look at that. Yeah, he's got good brow tines too.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
one I
little
missed.
kicker off there.
Yeah.
He's going to have a bigger kicker there.
That's the one I missed last year.
Uh,
We was with Goofy.
I know where he's at too. I know where he's walking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that one deer though has got 1, 2, 3 really good deer hunters hunting his ass, and 5 people hunting him that I know of. Their camera, know where he's at, know what he's about. And he did not get killed last year, the year before.
He's going down this year. I can tell you that.
He's so old he's gonna slip up.
That's where he was looking at me when I was rattling.
Yeah.
He's a nice one.
He looked like that one
He
looked like that one that guy posted from the trail cam
well, there's
the
a better
other day.
There's a better picture.
Big old
of
nice
him
and
there.
round, yeah.
He's
I've seen that
thick,
deer
too.
before.
He's thick too.
Where's his brow tines? He got little nubs on his brow tines?
He's a big
They're laid back, I believe.
Are they?
But I'll show you this beginning of the season, he come out.
All right, I'm going to turn this off. We got to go.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And
This is right there at the beginning of the season, I found